drama of playoff baseball. Welcome to the 2020 Wild Card Series presented by Hankook Tire. As we are just about ready to start this Game 3 of the best of 3, the only series on the American League side to get to a Game 3. Bob Melvin's Oakland A's looking to advance into the division series and end a string of playoff heartbreak for an A's team that is no stranger to the postseason over the last couple decades. Meanwhile, the White Sox haven't been in the playoffs in a while, and they're trying to take advantage of their first trip since 2008. The starting lineup for the White Sox, and the big news, Jess, as we get ready to go here, is Eloy Jimenez is in the middle of the lineup. He missed the first 2 games, missed the last part of the regular season with a right foot sprain, but he's in there today for the Sox.
The White Sox power gets even stronger with him in the lineup. It's crazy to think, even with his youth, what he's been able to accomplish this year, but gets even more deep with him in that lineup in the 4th spot.
Well, there was a real mystery coming into today on both sides about who is going to start the game. Now, it's a winner-take-all. It's an all-hands-on-deck. Use whatever term you want. We'll see a lot of pitchers, I'm sure, on both sides. But Mike Fiers, the veteran who has pitched just 1 inning in his long, distinguished big league career in the playoffs, will make his first postseason start for the A's.
Well, the 35-year-old, he struggled early in the season, but he is a veteran that knows how to pitch around guys. He had 2 wins against the White Sox last year, gave up 0 runs in 14 innings. And you're right, Flem, a lot of decisions went into this, but I think looking at some of Mike Fiers' numbers against these hotter hitters for the White Sox, he has fared well.
So the White Sox, of course, the road team getting ready to hit here in the top of the first inning. T-Mobile, your ticket to the game. Let's dig in today's key game insights for the fans at home. And I find this to be remarkable. The A's, who have lost 9 straight winner-take-all playoff games, will document their playoff agony over the last many years. For the Chicago White Sox, who were an original founding member of the American League, a franchise dating back to 1901, this is the first winner-take-all playoff game that the White Sox have ever participated in. And so the drama of the playoffs, we get a Game 3 from the Coliseum, and we are ready to go. Dave Fleming, Jessica Mendoza, Mike Fiers on the mound. Those numbers that the White Sox have put up this year against left-handed pitching may be influencing the decision quite a bit. Sean Manaea was probably the other top option for the A's. They give the ball to Fiers. Tim Anderson leads off and swings at the first pitch, puts it in play, but foul. We are underway from the Coliseum. What a first couple games for Anderson. 3 hits in Game 1, 3 hits again in Game 2. 6 for 9 in the series so far for one of the best pure hitters in baseball. And he swings and misses against that Fiers breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Beautiful pitch, too. And you're right, Tim Anderson, someone who doesn't swing and miss a lot, been exceptional the first 2 games. It's just really making contact to the right parts of the field. He's got a great feel and great eye of where the open spots are.
0-2 from Fiers. High fastball. Anderson, Grandal, Abreu, powerful White Sox lineup, second in the league in runs scored, first in the American League this year in home runs hit. So it's 2-2 to Tim Anderson leading off this game. That ball is hit hard on the ground. Diving stab by Lamb. Will he have time? No. Couldn't get the ball cleanly out of his glove, and it might not have mattered anyway. Who's shocked? Another hit for Tim Anderson, his 7th in 2 games plus 1 at bat in this series. Well, no Matt Chapman, and that is a big story for the A's. I don't even know if Chapman's got an unbelievably great arm. He's got great range, but with Anderson's speed, that was going to be a tough play for anybody. Jake Lamb has filled in ably for Chapman over at third base for the A's. He's getting the start today. We could see some mixing and matching on both sides, not just with the pitching staffs. Yasmani Grandal's had a good series, and he takes ball 1 outside.
That was a 2-seamer from Fiers. He'll 4-seam his fastball up in the zone as well. He's got a cutter, his curveball, and also a split finger.
Grandal, switch hitter. He's got power from both sides. All right, and we do welcome those of you who just finished watching the Braves sweep the Reds in that National League Wild Card Series. We're on the American League side. Dave Fleming, Jessica Mendoza at the Oakland Coliseum, where the White Sox are hitting in the top of the first inning. We're just underway. The first winner-take-all playoff game in the history of the White Sox franchise. The White Sox haven't won a series since that great 2005 season in the playoffs. The A's haven't won a playoff series since 2006, and they've been in the postseason a lot since then. Tim Anderson led off the game with an infield hit. What else is new? Anderson's got 7 hits already in this series. And right away, Mike Fiers, who gets the start in Game 3 for Oakland, is in the heart of the order, in the power of the White Sox, with a runner on base. Grandal popped it up. Jake Lamb near the foul line for out number 1. Well, Jess, a huge story in this game was who was going to start on both sides. There was some indecision and some decisions to be made after the way the first 2 games played out. But beyond that, Dane Dunning, the rookie, is going to get the ball at the start of the game. How aggressive are both managers going to be getting into their bullpens? Both managers very confident in their bullpens. I expect the hook for both starting pitchers is going to be extremely quick as Jose Abreu comes up for the White Sox, the MVP candidate in the American League and probably the favorite to win that award. Ball 1. Did he go?
Yeah,
No.
That's the strength for both of these teams in Game 3. We saw the highlights of their starters. Lucas Giolito, Game 1. Chris Bassett yesterday for the A's. But for this game, it is going to get to their bullpens quickly because they've got a lot of arms still left. It's the strength for both of these staffs at this point, and knowing what the offense is capable of on both sides.
Anderson with good speed at first. 1 out in the top of the first. The winner advances to play the Astros in the division series. Very high from Fiers, who's looking down at his landing spot on the front slope of the mound after that pitch that's ball 2. Don't let the 3 for 9 fool you from Abreu. I mean, the 3 for 9 is not bad, including a home run. He has had a terrific series at the plate. Every single at bat that he's had, he has hit the ball, what we call a hard hit ball. Every single one in the first 2 games. He's been making loud contact all series. He was out in front against that split change from Fiers, 2-1.
Oh, it's a beautiful pitch, too. You see the 100% hard hit rate. When you say hard hit rate, that's balls 95 miles an hour or greater. And a handful of those have been 100 miles an hour or more. So he's been, every single at bat, even his outs have been loud. But a nice pitch for Fiers right now, trying to keep him off balance.
That ball is hit hard again to left field. 1 hop and up against the wall. Grossman plays the carom. Anderson's going to stop at third. Jose Abreu with another bullet off his bat, and he's into second with a 1-out double.
115 miles an hour off the bat. This pitch supposed to end up low and away. It's up and in, and Abreu is all over this. Crushes it so hard, 1 hops off the fence. Gets back to Robbie Grossman so quickly. Tim Anderson easily able to get to third base with his speed.
Any kind of bobble for Grossman out in left field, and Anderson was going to be in a position to try to score. Now Eloy Jimenez comes up, his first at bat in a playoff series in his young career. He missed the first 2 games with that right foot sprain. He is good to go in Game 3, and he takes ball 1 outside.
Flem, he has such a strong upper body that there are times that he might get beat with his lower half, but he has such strength with his upper half that he can even hit the ball out without his legs, just using his arms, using his upper half.
He chased that one way up out of the strike zone. A fastball for strike 1. And you could understand if he was a little over anxious. I mean, he had to sit and watch the first 2 games. For a guy with his personality and desire to be in the lineup, I mean, I'm sure that was tough for him. And he's in.
You saw him with the bat late in the game yesterday, chomping at the bit, wanted to get in so bad. The opportunity did not come. They didn't get enough runners on.
This was pregame, Jess, where, I mean, we've seen this scene before all 3 of the games now in this series, but today the look was a little different. A little half-hearted practice swing, but then he took off, tested the foot, gave the nod to Rick Renteria, and said he was good to go, and the confidence of the 23-year-old. That's
he knows where the cameras are.
He does at all times. At all times. Chance for the White Sox to grab the early lead. Huge moments right away in this game. And Mike Fiers, starting his first playoff game in his career, takes a deep breath. I mean, there's a part of me that's surprised that the bullpen isn't already working for Oakland. Win or go home on both sides. 1-2. Jimenez popped that one up. Behind first, Matt Olson is there to make the catch for out number 2. Huge second out for Fiers and the A's.
This is what Mike Fiers does. When he's getting outs, he's usually getting them in the air. He'll elevate that fastball. And it's that just enough because he's not going to blow by hitters. He's not a big swing and miss pitcher at all, but he gets a ton of contact in the air. And this is the perfect stadium for him for that. Oakland Coliseum, a lot of room for those fly balls to track him down.
Yoan Moncada, who was hitting 2nd in the lineup with no Jimenez, today hitting 5th behind Jimenez. Switch hitter, a lot of power, particularly as a left-handed hitter against righties, who was totally robbed in a huge moment yesterday by a great catch from Mark Canha. He rips one toward Canha here, and Canha's there to make the catch. So the White Sox threaten with some very loud contact, but they do not score. We are underway. Winner take all game 3 in the wild card round on the American League side. For those of you watching on ESPN2, switch over to ESPN. Next on ESPN2, The Jump. We'll be back right after this. Tire never halfway. Everything ready to go in Oakland, California at the Coliseum today for the drama of the White Sox and the A's on the American League side. The only of the 4 wild card series in the American League to get to a game 3. A's, who have not won a winner-take-all postseason game since Game 7 of the 1973 World Series. The White Sox franchise has never before today played in one of these games. Starting lineup for the A's, Tommy La Stella in that leadoff spot, and Chris Davis, Jess, is the designated hitter for Oakland.
That big home run for him in the 4th inning. It was just his at-bats yesterday. Bob Melvin talked about his confidence, wanting him back in there. Only 2 home runs all season long, but a big one in game 2.
And the rookie gets the ball. Dane Dunning, who made 7 starts in the regular season for the White Sox. We'll see how long he lasts in this one. What an assignment for Dunning. Gets the swing and miss from Tommy La Stella, who's had 2 hits in the series. He had the hit that broke up the perfect game in the 7th inning against Lucas Giolito in game 1. Dunning, who came to the White Sox from the Nationals in the same trade that brought Giolito to the South Side. There's Lucas wearing the surgical style mask with Dallas Keuchel, who was the game 2 starter for the White Sox.
Some cool kids over there.
Yeah, you got to have a uniform to stand in that part of the dugout. 2-1 to La Stella, and he rips one into center field. That's a leadoff single for the A's. Now Marcus Semien comes up. Semien, who did not have his typical regular season, just struggled basically from the start. Yesterday, what a swing of the bat this was for the A's.
Yeah, we talked about Chris Davis, how big his home run was, but for Semien, remember, these were 2 bats quiet much throughout the regular season, but knew Bob Melvin understood they could get hot at any moment. They did yesterday.
Against Dunning, whose breaking ball is way outside for ball 1. Mark Canha told us that the A's got those 2 runs in the first inning yesterday, and that relaxed everybody a little bit, but it was really the swing of the at-bat from Semien in the second that was, he thought, a big-time difference maker. You can see behind Dunning, the White Sox bullpen is already working, and I don't blame him. I got the friendly call from Ted Barrett toward the outside corner. Garrett Crochet, who began 2020 in college at the University of Tennessee, may be a few minutes away from making his big league playoff debut. Semien hits that one, really just a pop-up. Abreu near the coach's box, and he makes the catch.
Can you imagine you're a rookie? It's your first postseason start, the nerves, the adrenaline, everything that comes with that, right? You give up a base hit, you know, decent hit up the middle, and now the bullpen's up. I mean, I get that it makes sense, but just put yourself in the shoes of Dane Dunning as well. And he knows the conversation happened. Hey, it's going to be a short leash, but you want to go out and be able to prove yourself. And it's almost like you're a relief pitcher in this situation. You're an opener.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he is. So Crochet getting ready maybe for Matt Olson. He'll face the left-hander. Dunning will Jake Lamb. And so far, it's just a few pitches, but it looks like a wide strike zone from the veteran Ted Barrett behind home plate. Lamb, who just did nothing this year, struggled so badly with the Diamondbacks when he joined the A's mid-September. Since then, he's been basically their best hitter. Has totally revived his career with Oakland. He takes high at 92 miles an hour, 1-1.
Jake Lamb is the perfect example of how strong the mental game can be. There was nothing fundamental, mechanical that he changed once he got to Oakland. It was a change of scenery, but also just confidence, understanding, having a different belief system, and himself, and really going out there knowing I got a clean slate and something to prove.
He takes a good cut at that low fastball. It's 1-2. He hit 116 with the Diamondbacks this year. Did not hit a home run. Matt Chapman gets hurt. Diamondbacks designate Jake Lamb for assignment. A's pick him up. He's hit 3 home runs since putting on the A's uniform. He's hit for power. He's hit for a little bit of average. He's played good defense. He's been a savior for the A's. One-two from Dunning. Lamb had another good rip. Still a ball and 2 strikes. I do think it's interesting. You talked about the pressure on the rookie and the bullpen's up after a leadoff single. I mean, the White Sox had second and third, nobody out, or 1 out in the top of the first inning, and the A's bullpen was still quiet. White Sox, at least in the first moments of this game, showing maybe even a little more urgency to get into the bullpen as Crochet gets ready.
Well, that's how we've seen these games go. Who scores early wins. Once it gets to the bullpen for both teams, the offense get quiet.
Lamb, a high fly ball, another pop-up into shallow right. Madrigal makes the catch. 2 down. Well, Mark Canha comes up. Canha's biggest moment in this series wasn't with the bat, it was with the glove. And you know, looking back on the way yesterday played out, it was a season saver for the A's. Yoan Moncada thought he had one, and Mark Canha sprinting back, crashing into the wall, holding onto the baseball. The White Sox were threatening, and Canha kept him off the scoreboard. A huge play in Game 2, which kept the A's season alive.
Yeah, 2 runners on at that point, and it was early in the game, 3rd inning.
So now he hits with a runner at first and takes the curve in for a strike.
And how about Moncada? I mean, he hit that ball, right? He's yet to have a hit in the postseason. Yoan Moncada for the White Sox. He hits the one we just showed that Canha robs, and then the last inning hits a laser. And now Canha's in right field, and he's like, I can't get away from this guy. Made a great catch at his shins to rob Moncada of another hit.
Yoan, find somebody else to hit it to.
Well, he thought he did. He didn't get the memo that they moved Canha from left to right.
1-1 from Dunning, trying to settle in here. The rookie, who has made just 7 starts in his major league career, the first rookie in a long time to start a playoff game for the White Sox. Only the third time they've had a rookie pitch as a starter in a playoff game in their history. Canna rips that one into left center field. Luis Robert over to cut it off. La Stella around to third. So the A's building a rally here in the bottom of the first inning. And I'm going to test my theory here with Matt Olson coming up. Rick Renteria is coming out. That's what I thought. Garrett Crochet was getting ready for the left-handed slugger. I mean, it's super aggressive, but I don't blame him. So the pitching change in the first inning. If you needed a reminder that this game was different, here it is. White Sox going to the rookie in the bullpen. We'll be back right after this. 2 hits, and the White Sox in this winner-take-all, win or your season is over. Game 3 in the best of 3, immediately into their bullpen with 2 on and 2 out, and it is the rookie, and not just any rookie. Garrett Crochet, who pitched in 1 game for the University of Tennessee back in March, was the 11th overall pick in the MLB draft on June 10th, made his major league debut September 18th. He was at the alternate site for most of the year, the first player since Mike Leake back in 2010 to make his major league debut without pitching a game in the minor leagues. And now, a couple weeks later, he's in a huge spot in a playoff game. Lefty against lefty, and he throws hard with a capital H. 99, that's his get-it-in fastball.
He averages over 100 miles an hour. Averages. I mean, that's what is just crazy when you think of the day and age we live in. But for Garrett Crochet, his 6th appearance, 8 strikeouts, no walks.
Tough at bat for Olson, who puts it in play, but foul, and the count is 0-2 immediately to the first baseman, the home run leader for Oakland. Despite that 195 batting average, he did a lot of damage this year. 14 home runs. He has not yet had a hit in this wild card series. It's a pretty good signal from Crochet that he's ready for the moment. Those first 2 pitches were awesome. 0-2. A little bit low at 99 miles an hour.
Remember, he was a starter, you mentioned, for Tennessee. His last appearance before the big leagues was pitching 3 1/3 innings against Wright State in March, but he is a guy that could get 6 to 9 outs because he is built up to be a starter. What he was coming in.
1-2, right in on the hands. Olson lives to see another pitch. And the White Sox were using him as a reliever, and the alternate site is so hard to measure because you're playing scrimmage games against your own teammates and whatnot, but he's been exclusively a reliever since coming to the big leagues, and a short reliever, and he's just had awesome stuff. Those were the numbers that Jess was talking about. More than 50% of his pitches 100 miles an hour or more. He goes with the breaking ball and strikes out Olson. Just nasty from Garrett Crochet. Welcome to the playoffs, kid. Both teams threaten in the first inning. Neither team scores. So we will go to final game of that game 2. Brewers, Dodgers, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Both games will be available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Yesterday, 8 playoff games for the first time in Major League history. The White Sox trying to finish off the A's yesterday. Couldn't do it. They're going to try to do the same and advance to the divisional series with a win in Oakland this afternoon. Keuchel, Giolito, and Dane Dunning, the 3 starters for the White Sox. I'm not sure Dane broke a sweat. He got 2 outs, gave up 2 hits through 15 pitches, and came out of the game, and the move was a good one. Luis Robert takes the pitch from Mike Fiers, inning number 2 for strike 1. Maybe no more exciting young player in the big leagues than Luis Robert. He is not a finished product. He drills one to left field and tosses the bat aside. My goodness, where will it land? Way up and out of here. A titanic home run from the rookie Luis Robert. The White Sox have a 1-0 lead. 487 feet.
Oh my gosh, Dave Fleming. He crushed this ball. This is a 4-seamer. I think Fiers wanted this more elevated. Instead, it's down in the zone, the cookie zone for Luis Robert, right there, thigh high. And this ball is out of here, 113 miles an hour. Chucks his bat over to the White Sox side with an exclamation point.
I mean, Robbie Grossman gave it the courtesy look, but that was just A monstrous home run from the unbelievably talented youngster Luis Robert to put the White Sox ahead in this winner-take-all game. Nomar Mazara, who gets the start for the first time in the series, takes ball one.
Just a smooth, easy swing. And to hit it 487 feet, 112 miles an hour off the bat, 31-degree launch angle, the apex. I mean, you couldn't even see the apex. It was pretty much off the screen of the StatCast.
Well, I am frankly shocked. I mean, we see a little shot there. The A's bullpen is empty. We saw the White Sox as aggressive as they were going to the bullpen. Mike Fiers has faced 6 hitters, and 4 of them, by my estimation, have hit rockets against him. I mean, he is not fooling anybody. Tim Anderson, I mean, it was technically an infield hit, but smoked a ball on the ground. The double by Abreu, the line shot from Moncada, and then the home run from Luis Robert.
Well, I said it earlier, Fiers gets outs when he elevates that fastball. He induces pop flies. Those were his first 2 outs in the first inning. But when he leaves the fastball down in the zone, he just doesn't have the velocity to blow it by guys.
I mean, the A's bullpen was, by the numbers, the best bullpen in big league baseball this year. Best earned run average. And you can go right down the line. Plus, it's not just their regular relievers. Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, Mike Minor, who pitched as a starter and a reliever at the end of the regular season for the A's, all available today. Very high. Full count, 3-2. Well, what a moment for the kid Luis Robert, who burst upon the scene this year, had a tough finish to what was a dynamic rookie year. Sean Murphy, the young catcher, sets the target, and a good splitter, strike 3 swinging.
And when Fiers can change that eye level, go upstairs with the fastball, you saw him miss above the strike zone, finish up with that split finger changeup. It's a lethal combination for him.
So here's Adam Engel playing left field today with Mazara in right field. Excellent defensive player, having a really good year offensively. He's been one of the White Sox best players. Takes strike 1 from Fiers. And a guy who basically has forced his way into the lineup every day now. That one is swung on and missed. He wasn't real happy with that swing. Strike 2. Fiers drops the curve in beautifully. Strike 3 called.
This is when you are a veteran. You give up a moonshot first batter to Luis Robert that's crushed. You come back 2 strikeouts, and Fiers isn't a huge swing and miss guy, but you take a look at that curveball, completely fooling the hot bat of Adam Engel, followed with the changeup that he threw to Mazara prior to. Not fazed by that home run. It's still a 1-0 game.
So 2 outs. Here's the 9th place hitter, Nick Madrigal. He takes one right in there. 89-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Another rookie on this young White Sox team. They have a mix of veteran talent and youngsters. Madrigal, who had a good rookie year, did not have a great game 2. He hits that one hard up the middle. Base hit into center field. So a 2-out single, and now you get Tim Anderson in the top of the order for a second look at Mike Fiers. Anderson, who had 3 hits in game 1, 3 hits in game 2, started off game 3 with a hit.
He talked a pregame about actually just having some time. You got to remember how many of these teams have been playing every single day, double headers. I mean, there has been no break, and that's what happens when you're playing 60 games in 2 months. And so he's like, you know, I actually had a day to kind of think about, okay, because he was struggling in the back end of the season, He's like, I felt myself floating, my legs, I wasn't being able to stay in my lower half, so I started to really get back to what I know I could do well.
Hit that one foul off to the right.
And one of the things he said to me when I spoke to him this week is, he's like, I've got quick hands, and I have to trust that. So when he talks about staying in his legs, you see how late he was there on a slider, Dave, on a slider, because he trusts his hands so much to not get beat by the fastball. That way, no breaking pitches, nothing slow he tries to get beat by.
Madrigal was thinking about going. That pitch missed outside. Murphy was paying attention. Well, you figure that he's got to pick his spots, because yesterday, one base running play that did not turn out well. I mean, everybody was calling it a terrible base running mistake. I think it was a little different than that, but 2 errors that were costly.
Another young player out of Oregon State for the White Sox, learning as he goes.
That one right on the corner, strike 2. One nothing White Sox in this winner take all game 3. Fires is going to throw over there. Tim Anderson, one of the biggest personalities in baseball, one of the best hitters, last year's batting champion in the American League. He battled for another batting title this year. DJ LeMahieu ultimately just finished too hot. 1-2, very high. Guy does incredible work in the community on the south side of Chicago, has moved permanently to Chicago. Kid who grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and now year-round survives the winters of the Windy City and is a true team leader for the White Sox and Rick Renteria, who's watching every pitch closely.
Oh, it's a great shot, right? See the look, just the total manager, like squat. I mean, just the intensity. As he stares, looks on his team. We've seen him just sitting on the bench, like at times when he's a little more relaxed. We're in inning 2. You can tell it's a game 3 winner take all.
He should be feeling good about the start of this game. He made the super aggressive move to his bullpen that looked good when Crochet struck out Olsen. Now a hard hit ball down the right field line. Canna can't catch it. It's just fair. Madrigal coming around third. The relay will be made. Well, Madrigal stopped. Wow. Even running on contact with 2 down, he stopped at third. So Canna ended up making an excellent play. It's still 1-0.
Good location of this pitch. Away, off speed. It's like it's on a tee. I mean, he was late on a slider early in this bat, battled off, hits it right down the line. Nick Madrigal gets the jump he needs, rounding third. Held up. Yeah,
and it was a good decision. I mean, I guess the ball was hit so hard it got down into the corner so quickly, because there was no mistake made by Madrigal. He turned the bag at second well, picked up the sign from his third base coach, Nick Capra. Yusmeiro Petit now up in the bullpen. And I'm surprised it took this long. Another rocket off the bat of a White Sox hitter. The White Sox are threatening to open this game up here in the second inning.
Have a series, though, for Tim Anderson.
Amazing.
I mean, he's been impossible to keep off the bases.
3 hits in the first 2 games, now 2 for 2 in the first 2 innings of game 3. Grandal takes way outside. Just a great hitter. Most hits in first 3 career postseason games. He has now tied the record, and that's good company. Mark Grace, Dante Bichette, Jim Edmonds, Cargo. He's going to get plenty more at bats today to try to set a new record. Down and in.
7 of those 8 too Flem have looked like that last one. I mean, opposite field. Just being able, whether it's on his hands and he's just fighting it, whether it's an off-speed pitch, not a bad pitch, away, just poking it over.
Grandal, who's already hit 2 home runs in the series for the White Sox, 1 in each of the first 2 games. Ahead in the count, 2-0. Fires. That one is off the plate inside. Ball 3. A walk loads the bases for the likely MVP. And I cannot imagine that Fires would be allowed to face Jose Abreu in that scenario. We'll see. That one is ball 4. Not really close. None of those were close. And here comes the A's manager. Well, you give the ball to Fires, give your veteran a chance, and Mike Fires just didn't have much for these tough White Sox hitters. So the White Sox knock him out of the game in the second. Yusmeiro Petit, used to big moments of the playoffs, is coming in. This would count as a very big moment. Sox rookie Luis Robert put the White Sox on the board to start this second inning against Mike Fires. 487 feet. But now the White Sox are thinking big inning. They have knocked Fires out of the game. A 2-out rally. Madrigal single. Anderson double. Grandal walk. Fires gets 5 outs, responsible for all 3 runners, obviously. And he gives the ball to Yusmeiro Petit, who has pitched once already in this wild card series. Game 1. Had another really solid year. More guile than stuff at this point for Yusmeiro Petit, but one of the more valuable relievers in the American League, and he is no stranger to big spots, big moments. Takes a deep breath as he faces the guy who probably was the best hitter in the American League this year with the bases full, Jose Abreu. Petit's first pitch of the game is in the dirt. A lot of pressure on the rookie catcher to keep that ball around home plate. Madrigal at third, ready to break if a ball gets by. With the bases loaded, 2 career grand slams, but always a very good overall hitter, not just a hitter for power, Jose Abreu. Nobody drove in more runs in big league baseball this year than this guy. And he's hit the ball hard every single time up in the playoffs. He hits that one hard, but on the ground to Lamb. Backhands it, long throw to make, right there on the money. And a huge pitch and a huge moment. Yusmeiro Petit does the job for the A's. The White Sox get a run, but only one. Middle of the second at the Coliseum. He's Mickey of the Yankees. Luis Robert with an unbelievably impressive home run. And we're going to StatCast it, powered by Google Cloud. StatCast has been around, Jess, since 2015. This is the longest home run in that time in the history of the Oakland Coliseum. It's the second longest in Major League Baseball this season, 487 feet.
I mean, you could barely find it when he originally hit it. I mean, you were looking for it up in the stands. The ball was crushed. So much young talent. The Chicago White Sox team, you're getting to see it, especially with the bat of Luis Robert.
So Garrett Crochet stays in on the mound, the rookie who has so much talent himself. Fastball to Chris Davis is low for ball 1. Crochet was summoned in the first inning with 2 on and 2 out to make his playoff debut. He was pitching in college at the start of this year. Chris Davis, who had a miserable regular season but looked a lot more like his old self yesterday, hit a home run. Had a pretty good swing there at the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 straight years of 40 or more home runs for Chris Davis. Last year was a step back, and this year just was not himself. But Bob Melvin told us before the game that he just liked the way he looked yesterday, the last few days of the regular season. He skies that one foul out of play for strike 2. So a little bit of a gut move for the A's manager to get Chris Davis in the lineup today.
I like it. I mean, not just the home run. I mean, you can look at numbers after the end of the game, but it's really the at-bats that he showed yesterday. I mean, he was on time. He was seeing pitches. Of course, Crochet will make anyone look uncomfortable.
1-2. With the breaking ball, did he go? Yes, he did, says Marvin Hudson, the first base umpire. That's strike 3. Crochet's faced 2 A's, and he struck out both of them.
This is just mean. I mean, you throw 98 plus up at the top of the zone, then you follow it with this low 80s slider. I mean, you've got no chance. No chance. You haven't seen this guy from the left side. You mix in also the deception. And there's a reason why Davis has to get that barrel going if he has a chance to catch up to upper 90s. But then he drops in that slider.
Is that the trainer? I believe it is, for the White Sox with the manager, and Garrett Crochet is, I think, coming out of this game. Huh. Well, that is a shock after the dominance we've seen from him against 2 hitters and a blow to the White Sox. So hopefully the rookie is all right. He's got to keep the ball, remember. Well, he gave it to Yasmani Grandal. But Garrett Crochet walks off the field. We'll see if we can spot anything in that last pitch or the last couple pitches. But the White Sox are going to their bullpen, and the new pitcher is going to have as much time, Aaron Bummer, as he needs to get ready in this game. So Bummer is going to take his time. We'll take a quick break and be back. White Sox lead 1-0. Sensational young Crochet after throwing this nasty slider to Chris Davis to get strike 3. And we looked, at least on that pitch, we couldn't see anything from Crochet that would tip the hand and say what was going on. We saw him flexing his left hand and his wrist. But the trainer and Rick Renteria saw something. They came out right away and get Crochet out of the game. And we'll try to find out more if we can. But he's going to go back into the locker room. He got 2 big outs for the White Sox. So now Aaron Bummer gets as much time. When there's an injury, as a reliever, you get as much time as you need to get ready for the game. Bummer, who was hurt for a lot of the year, and it's a word that White Sox fans might be using right now after what just happened to Crochet. When he was healthy, Aaron Bummer was excellent. .96 ERA in his 9 appearances.
This is why they've got their bullpen fully back. I mean, adding Aaron Bummer back to that mix. Evan Marshall, who had missed some time as well. Bummer's got that mid-90s fastball, a turbo sinker that he'll throw. See some incredible run on it when he's throwing it right.
And in the dugout, that's the kind of development that can start the pitching coach and the manager grinding out. Okay, let's rethink our plan. How are we going to map our way through this game? The White Sox trying to advance to a division series for the first time since that 2005 season. The A's, who have had so much playoff heartbreak of late, what a win this would be for Oakland's franchise if they could advance on. The A's, who have lost 9 straight winner-take-all playoff games. Playing from behind here. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Aaron Bummer's ready to go against the switch hitter Robbie Grossman. His first at bat of game 3. And the first pitch from Bummer is just inside. Ball 1. Well, it looked like it was a wide strike zone in the first inning of the game, but I think it's now sort of normalized. You got a home plate umpire, Ted Barrett, who is for the 20th time in his distinguished career behind home plate for a postseason game. Not many have more experience than that.
You know, one of the things about Garrett Crochet, to put a button on it, though, that it was a little surprising is his velocity was down 3 miles an hour. I know he was in for a limited time, but I watched his last few appearances this year, and he was hitting 100 almost every single time. He was started at 98, went to 97, went to 96.
Yep. And that, as much as anything, that may have motivated the visit with the trainer and the manager. I mean, it seems crazy to say, I pitch on the outside for a called strike 2, that 97 is a red flag, but with Garrett Crochet, maybe it was. Robbie Grossman, who showed a lot of power this year, takes that one in the dirt. He's always been a patient hitter. Started game 1, did not start yesterday. He's been a big part of the A's success this year. American League West champions. They hadn't won the division in a while. They've been regular playoff participants of late. 3rd straight year in the playoffs for the A's. 2-2 from Bummer. Did he go? He did not. Full count, 3-2. That was a good take and a close pitch.
Did hold back. Did a nice job. His whole body went, kept his barrel back.
3-2. Hits that one on the ground toward third. Moncada takes his time and just throws out Robbie Grossman. Let's check in with Kevin Connors in studio.
All right, Flem, time for today's wild card roundup brought to you by Coors Light. The Braves are moving on to the divisional round after sweeping the Reds. Marcelo Zuna rocked a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. Adam Duvall followed with one of his own. Selfies everywhere. Braves pitching was magnificent. 5-zip the final. They await the Marlins-Cubs series winner.
Thank you, Kevin. Dave Fleming, Jessica Mendoza from the Oakland Coliseum. That's the site of Game 3 of this wild card series in the American League. Aaron Bummer, the third pitcher already in the second inning for the White Sox, who lead 1-0. Ramon Laureano takes a strike. The A's center fielder hitting 8th today. Has 2 hits in the series. In the dirt with the breaking ball. Well, one thing for the White Sox with the disturbing development, Crochet has to come out of the game. Dane Dunning, the starter, only got 2 outs. We've pumped up the A's bullpen, and rightfully so. The White Sox bullpen has been excellent, and they have a lot of arms available, fresh, ready to go today. They may need all of them. On the ground to short. Anderson had to play back on it. Laureano's got speed, but Anderson enough arm to throw him out. So good job by Aaron Bummer after Crochet had to come out. Another one of the young stars, Luis Robert, due up in the third. 1-0 White Sox. Take all wild card series game at the Oakland Coliseum. Ramon Laureano, who just had his first at bat of the game in the second, out in center field in the top of the third. Ramon, like his teammate Mark Canha yesterday, it went well with Mark, and nice enough to put the earpiece in and have a word with us from his spot out of the outfield. Ramon, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
You have somebody to talk to in center field. You're all alone ordinarily.
Yeah, it's good now. We can talk all day here.
Did Canha tell you anything about his experience with us yesterday?
No, I didn't know he was mic'd up.
Jimenez rips one.
Got it. Damn, he can fucking wrong.
Well, it's part of doing live television. Jimenez hit it hard enough to make it into second.
Okay.
Ramon, you had to go get a ball right away, huh?
Yeah.
Eloy's got some speed, huh?
Who, Eloy?
Yeah.
He's hurt. That's why I wanted to throw it.
Yeah. Well, we like it when you get a
look like he's hurt.
No, he was moving pretty well, huh?
Yeah.
So now Moncada actually bunts at it and misses it. Well, we heard you call off your teammate on that play.
Yeah.
Center fielder always a captain, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But it was pretty towards my side, so
yeah.
I don't feel like I had to let him know.
How long does it take you to catch your breath after you run like that?
Yeah, maybe 6 pitches.
Okay.
5.
So you got Moncada up there. You looked at your card in your hat. We see you shaded a little bit toward left center field.
Yeah. Yeah, most of these guys are they're going up, so I mean, but they're hitting it to the other side too.
We've seen it sprayed all over the field in this series so far.
Yeah.
What are the conditions like today? Well, now we got the trainer coming out, and maybe it's Eloy at second base. Maybe you were talking about the injury, so maybe they're going to check on their big slugger.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, man.
Yeah, we saw him going through all kinds of you can only put yourself in that position, right? If you're hurt and the biggest games of your young career, you want to be in there.
Yeah,
not easy.
You never know when you're going to get these chances, so got to take advantage of them.
Well, it looks to us, I don't know if you have a better view than we do, but it looks to us like he's trying to talk his way into staying in this game.
Yeah, he's too young.
23 years old.
Yeah, they're going to let him go. Just like a crochet.
Yeah. Well, that's a bad break for the White Sox. If two of their Ramon, you can't see the replay, but we saw after he got to second base, he gave a little hand signal that maybe he would need to come out of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the White Sox have lost two of their young players to injury, and they'll put a pinch runner out there. That's James McCann, the second catcher. They have a third catcher on the roster. So Jimenez, who popped out his first time up, doubles to start the third, and now has to come out of the game.
Can you guys hear me?
We can, yeah. We got you.
Okay, good. I thought I lose you guys for a second.
Oh, no. We're right on you. One away. Well, I guess the ball was destined to find you once we started chatting with you, huh?
Yeah, I like it. We should do this more often. Yeah.
Was that a tough read off the bat?
No. I knew he hit it up the end.
We get these microphones in our ears, so sometimes every ball, even if it gets hit off the end of the bat, sounds like an explosion. But you could tell, huh, from the sound?
Yeah, from like, you know, like he hit it off the end of the bat that like I smelled it. So yeah. But he's a pretty strong guy, man. Moncada. So you never know.
So is this guy.
Yeah. Oh.
Two 2-0 White Sox. Do you think he had a chance to get him?
It was too slow.
Yeah.
It's okay. That rubber guy is on fire now.
Man.
Well, he crushed that home run, and you're right. It was a soft hit ball to you. You went flying after that throw. You gave everything you had. We're showing the replay now of your throw. I've seen you do that a few times too, Ramon, where you'll throw, leave your feet as you release it.
Yeah, but that's mostly on third base and second base. I can do it at home plate because it's a longer throw, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little tough. But I mostly do it like to third base. But depending how close I am.
So Luis Robert has knocked in both runs for the White Sox with a monster home run. Now a base hit up the middle. It's 2-0 White Sox. We heard you say, oh, yeah, off the bat. And I guess that's just the anticipation of maybe having a chance to throw a guy out.
Yeah, but then I realized it was pretty slow.
Yeah. It just was not hit all that hard.
Yeah.
Is it hazy today out there?
Hazy, like ashy?
Yeah.
Like the, I can feel it now a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, we've been warm, so we were, what, 225 in Seattle?
Yeah.
We were like 180 a couple times here. For those who don't know, is air quality.
Yeah, those of us on the West Coast now we're experts on air quality and what the numbers mean.
Yeah.
Grossman plays the carom. Mazzara into second. 3-0 White Sox. Some loud contact against Yusmeiro Petit, who got the big out in the second, but the White Sox right now not fooled.
Mazzara had the strikeout his first at bat, does a really nice job sitting back on this one, driving it into left center field. He knows his power is once that ball gets deeper into his stance. A really patient at bat from Mazzara and some love from his teammate Luis Robert.
Frankie Montas is going to get up in the Oakland bullpen. He's been a starter, had a great finish to his regular season. He's going to get ready to come in this game.
Ramon, what's it been like for you guys in the clubhouse? I mean, losing game one, you go to game two, your offense comes alive, and then coming into this winner-take-all game in game three.
I mean, even when we lose or win, we just feel the same. We're all the same guys, you know. We're pretty loose in the clubhouse all the time. Everybody, the coaches, the clubhouse stuff, the trainers, everybody. But yeah, we always feel like we can come back always and win games. Doesn't matter what the score is.
Trying to hold the line at 3-0 here. Is that the families we hear up above you, Ramon, through your microphone,
yes,
cheering?
Yeah, the wives and girlfriends.
Has it been nice? Has it been nice to have them there in the ballpark?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got some noises, so we need that. We've been hearing fake noises for all these 60 games. So.
Yeah, it's been such a strange season in so many different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So many protocols.
One, two, right there for strike three called.
He does a nice job. Fastball just dotted. That 4-spot at the knees away to get Adam Engel looking.
So now Madrigal. Any different positioning for him, Ramon?
Nick, just shading the other way. But like, I mean, this guy hits everything where nobody is, so.
It's true. He's got a knack.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy to face with a runner at second base.
Yeah, that guy doesn't even strike out either.
He does not strike out. He's going to get the bat on the ball.
Yeah. We'll see.
Your teammate's going to take that one, Tommy La Stella. Ramon, thanks for doing that.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck the rest of the way. White Sox added 2 runs. It's 3-0, middle of the third. In a run for the White Sox to make it 3-0, so a 2-run top of the third as the A's bat. Long way to go. Winner take all American League Wild Card Series. 9th place hitter Sean Murphy against Aaron Bummer, who is still in the game for the White Sox. Ball 1. Murphy's had 2 hits in his 2 starts so far in this series. A game that early on has been dominated by the White Sox offense against Fiers and against Yusmeiro Petit.
You know these A's bats can come alive at any point. The first 2 games having gone, who's scored first wins the game because they get it over to the bullpen, but the bullpen has started early for both these teams. So I think for the A's, the mentality is to keep getting through these pitchers. And they saw Bummer 2 days ago.
Cody Hoyer warming up in the White Sox bullpen. See if we see him here in the third. And that one called ball 3. So it's 3-0 to Sean Murphy. Trying to get an A's rally started. Top of the order due up next. Tommy La Stella, leadoff hitter, who singled to start the game for the A's offense. White Sox have already lost 2 of their young players to injury in this game. Garrett Crochet and Eloy Jimenez, who started, had a couple at bats, and running to second, tweaked the foot, or it wasn't feeling right. Whatever it was, he came out of the game.
Well, I saw it out of the box, and that's just instinctual. It's like going out when Rick Renteria talked to Lucas Giolito. Do you want to stay in this game for Jimenez? As soon as he hit that ball, how do you not instinctually just want to go full speed? And that's what he tried to do.
Well, that's a start for the A's. It's ball 4. Sean Murphy's on base again in this series, with the top of the order coming up. Call the shots during postseason games and compete for cash prizes with MLB Rally, a new free-to-play game where you make at-bat predictions in real time. Download MLB Rally app now. Restrictions apply. See official rules at MLB.com/rally. Well, we should thank Ramon Laureano once again for being with us from the field in the middle of a playoff game. I know it makes some people uncomfortable. I think it's worth saying out loud that we asked the players nicely. The Players Union, Major League Baseball, has encouraged players to, even in playoff games, to be willing and volunteer. Ramon wanted to do it. He told us we should do it more often when we were on the air. I mean, I know it makes some people cringe, especially when he's in the middle of all the action and we're talking to him, but it is an insight that is hard to get in any other way, in any other sports broadcast.
Especially when the players want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the Dodger game last night. Justin Turner, he actually asked to stay on. He was at third base talking to the guys, and he literally walked up himself to his at-bat, just talking through, you know, Dave Roberts' conversation from the dugout. And the guys know the ones that affect. Marcus Semien even said, he's like, I could never wear a mic. Are you kidding me? I get too distracted. Mark Hanna was the opposite. He's like, I loved it when he wore a mic yesterday. I've done it myself. I've done an ESPN game when I played in for the U.S. team, and I was out in left field, and my teammates looked at me sideways because they thought I was talking to myself, but I absolutely enjoyed it.
Could be the last hitter for Aaron Bummer. You get the right-hander Semien on deck. You got a right-hander up in the bullpen. He went. That's strike 3. La Stella could not hold up. We'll see how the White Sox want to play this. La Stella is out number 1. First strikeout for Aaron Bummer. And at least so far, it looks like Rick Renteria is sticking with his lefty. You got another lefty on deck. It's not like Aaron Bummer is just a specialist. He's got stuff to get anybody out.
Yeah, he has good splits to righties and lefties. Throws a high percentage of fastballs, but similar to Chris Bassett. Yesterday, he can cut the fastball. He can ride it four-seam up at the top of the zone. He's got that turbo sinker that can kill you down at your knees. And he really makes one pitch turn into 3.
A's having to play from behind right there on the outside, 96 miles an hour. The 1-1 pitch. Good take by Semien. That's the one Bummer wants you to swing at. 97 with sink. Semien hits that one hard into center field. That's a base hit. So Marcus Semien builds the A's rally. His family, yeah. We saw it yesterday. He hit the home run. He pointed up there.
I saw some little Semiens running up there too. It's cool to have families in there.
Well, this is a tough decision for Bob Melvin. He's going to make the move, and this may prompt a counter move from the White Sox. Chad Pinder is going to hit for Jake Lamb in the 3rd inning. I mean, I think Bob knows that Rick Renteria is likely to make a move himself. We'll see. But he's going to get Pinder up there against Bummer with 2 on and 1 out. And Renteria, well, it looks like now he's coming. So he's making sure that the move was official. And now the White Sox manager is going to get another pitcher in the game. So this is what it is, a winner-take-all game, all hands on deck, everybody available or almost everybody. And it's going to be Cody Hoyer, another young pitcher in the White Sox bullpen, who's been outstanding for the White Sox. He's coming in. White Sox ahead 3-0, bottom of the third. Back right after this. Here in the bottom of the third with 2 on and 1 out and another pitching change for the White Sox. It's the third inning. This is their 4th pitcher already. It's young right-hander Cody Hoyer, who pitched a scoreless inning yesterday in Game 2. Excellent in the regular season, a 1.52 ERA. He's got a little bit of an unusual arm slot. He throws hard from the right side. Chad Pinder, the pinch hitter for Jake Lamb. Last 5 playoff games, and look, it's different players, different teams. The A's as a franchise, 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position. That is a fastball for a called strike. And look, again, every team is different, but it has been a theme for the playoff struggles of the A's: chances to score and the inability to cash in on those chances. Murphy at second, Simeon at first, 1 out. Ball 1. On the ground, diving Anderson knocks it down. He's not going to have a play, though. For the moment, he might have saved a run. If he fields it cleanly, he's got a chance to get at least 1 out. As is, bases loaded for the A's with Mark Canha coming up.
Those balls hit 110 miles an hour. This is saving a run all the way. Hit hard up the middle. Tim Anderson actually squeezed over to that 5-6 hole. Does a nice job of knocking the ball down. Yes, it would have been amazing if it got into his glove. Possibility of trying to turn a double play, but just the fact that he gets to this and knocks it down keeps Oakland from scoring a run.
A's still, though, have a great chance. Mark Canha, who singled in his first at bat against the starter Dane Dunning. Dunning got 2 outs. Crochet got 2 outs and was hurt. Had to come out of the game. Aaron Bummer ended up pitching 1 full inning between the second and the third, and now Hoyer. 3-0 White Sox. Canha took a big rip at the 97-mile-an-hour fastball, shaking his head. He has been a good hitter with the bases loaded in his career. He's had a lot of big hits for the A's. We asked him about his shoulder. He said no problem. You see him sort of windmilling there, trying to get stretched out. He said it's totally fine after crashing into the wall, making a game-saving catch yesterday. 0-1. Pops that one up on the infield. Madrigal. Infield fly rule is called, out number 2.
Huge out. We've had so many moments you look back to through the first 2 games, and that one right there, less than 2 outs. Just so many possibilities just to get on the board. Still have a chance here with Matt Olson. But if you would pick any guy in the lineup, it would be Canha.
Here's where the 3-batter rule maybe comes into play. Now, it could be that White Sox have to use Hoyer for a little longer than just a couple hitters, but instead of he cannot make a move. Rick Renteria. Olson's going to get the matchup. Left-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher with the bases loaded. And he pops one foul back and out of play. 97-mile-an-hour fastball in a spot where Olson a lot of times likes to see a pitch. Matt Olson has not had a hit in this series. 7 official at bats. He struck out 4 times. This would be a good time for his first hit. Bases loaded, 2 down. Just inside, good take.
Well, he's missed on the fastball. That's been the biggest thing I've noticed this series, is when you finally get the pitch, and for most hitters it is the fastball over the plate. Olson has either fouled it off or just mishit it. And that's kind of been the story for Olsen this year. It's not so much the breaking stuff, but actually the hard stuff that he struggled with.
1-1. Olsen pulls that one hard, but foul.
That was a changeup left up in the zone, middle. Tell you what, Cody Hoyer got lucky. This should have been 89 miles an hour right over the heart of the plate. Look at this location. Just out in front of it.
So now 1-2 with the bases full. The pitch off the inside. Grandal is one of the best pitch framers in the game. Tried to hold that for Ted Baird, who's, I think, since the first couple moments of the game has had a very consistent and very good strike zone.
It is a ball. It's a great take, too, by Olsen. That's exactly where Hoyer wanted it. He wanted that for strike 3.
A's badly need a big hit. Olsen's not going to get it. He strikes out swinging. 97 right at the knees. So Hoyer out of the bullpen to get the White Sox out of a jam. Still a long way to go, but a missed chance. We go to the 4th, 3-0 White Sox. Just had so much heartbreak in their recent playoff history. The good news is they've been there so many times, had a lot of chances. Justin Verlander and the Tigers 2 straight years dealt blows. Then in 2014, an agonizing wild card game loss. Fast forward to 2 years ago, the Yankees right from the start dominated that game, and you might say the same thing about last year's wild card game against the Rays, a 5-1 loss. This year they've snapped their postseason losing streak, but they're trying to win a series. We count those wild card games as a series for the first time since the ALDS in 2006. They haven't won a winner-take-all game as a franchise since Game 7 of the 1973 World Series, which was Willie Mays' last game as a player. It's been a while. Frankie Montas, who has been a starter, at times dominant, had a much more difficult year, I think, than most people were anticipating as a starting pitcher for the A's, is in out of the bullpen as we start the 4th inning. 3-0 White Sox. Tim Anderson buckles against the first pitch slider, strike 1.
Frankie Montas threw 113 pitches on Sunday against the Mariners. He was dealing. Double-digit strikeouts, probably one of his best starts of the year.
On the ground to short. Simeon charged it, and he throws out his shortstop counterpart for out number 1.
You can get Tim Anderson out. It's possible.
It's possible. First time today. I think you make a good point, Jess. If that start that Montas had made had come his second to last regular season start, very likely the A's would have engineered things to get Montas a start in this series, but he just had not been pitching well. And
he was their ace coming in. Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, he was opening day starter.
Yeah, they expected a huge year from him. And if they can survive this game and advance, I'm almost positive that he's going to get the ball as a starting pitcher if the A's season continues. Grandal to left. Grossman, you can tell there's some brightness. Day game at the Coliseum, fighting that sun. Out number 2. Well, we've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Luis Robert home run, then a 2-run third. Jimenez leadoff double. Robert a base hit. Mazzara a double to knock in a run. Here's Jose Abreu with 2 outs and the base is empty. Abreu 1 for 2 in this game. Takes the fastball at 97 miles an hour for ball 1. Bob Melvin, he wasn't being coy, but he didn't want to put a number on how long he could go with Montas if he ended up using him in this game. Just sort of playing it by feel, see how Frankie Montas responds after all the pitches thrown, as you said, over the weekend.
Well, and Montas, I think when he gets into trouble is when he tries to overthrow, and I think that's exactly what he wanted to see, is you put him in a postseason game, and what kind of Frankie are you going to get? so far. Very calm, cool, collect. Not overthrowing at all. A beautiful slider there to Abreu. And that's the combination. When he can pump 96 plus, kind of right there at the letters to Abreu, and then break that slider off of it down in the zone. He's got the split finger as well.
2-1. Abreu took a big hack 98 right out over the plate. 2-2. By the way, the White Sox did give us a couple medical updates. No shock, right foot discomfort for Eloy Jimenez. Crochet, left forearm tightness, which, look, we don't want to speculate. We don't. That is often a ominous three-word phrase, but hopefully Crochet's okay. 2-2 off the outside.
Yeah, I was worried about the velocity just being down, I think, from pitch 1. But you never know. Two young players in this whole game. I mean, you think about the rookies that have first postseason appearances all across the board.
3-2. Got him swinging. Man, nasty stuff from Frankie Montas, the starter turned reliever for this wild card series. Chris Davis, Robbie Grossman, Ramon Laureano coming up when we come back. The A's have work to do, trailing the White Sox 3-0. In a lot of ways, we're about the A's bullpen coming into this wild card series. 9 innings pitched so far in the first 3 games, only 4 hits, no runs. The bullpen for the White Sox has been outstanding. The A's were the team that I think most people figured had the advantage in that regard. It has not looked like it. Chris Davis leading off in the bottom of the 4th. A long way to go, though. And the White Sox bullpen is going to be tested in the ultimate way today. Their starter, Dane Dunning, really by design, got just 2 outs. Cody Hoyer got Davis to chase the slider. Strike 2.
Chris Davis opened up his front side big time, was sitting inside. You can tell Chris will give that away, but you just watch his front foot and what it does. Sometimes it'll stay closed. Other times it'll open way up, which means he's selling out.
The other way to first on a quick hop to Abreu, who takes it to the bag for out number 1.
Don't want to miss a game during the postseason? Hey Siri, show me postseason baseball schedules.
Well, it's a good tool because the playoff schedule moves around quite a bit. Things get shuffled, series end, series get extended. And with the biggest playoff field in the history of the game this year, this so unusual, ultimately fascinating 2020 season. This the final game of the wild card round on the American League side. Grossman takes low for ball 1. I mean, it is interesting how the other 3 series were all 2-game sweeps. How the first one to finish up on the National League side is a 2-game sweep. The Braves swept the Reds. So far in the playoffs, this the only winner-take-all game that we've had yet. Hopefully we get a lot more.
We've seen some good ones. Even, you know, the Braves Reds yesterday going 13 innings in that pitching duel. And how about Ian Anderson coming back for the Braves today? And their pitching needed. I mean, shoot, both teams pitching needed. They used everybody. Game 1. And then, gosh, the Indians and Yankees keeping me up late last night. That game.
Crazy.
I feel for Indians fans too, because they had that game won multiple times, and the free passes, I mean, leading to the grand slam of Gio Urshela, then the errors that came, one even from their pitcher Brad Hand. They would take the lead and something would happen, not just giving it up with a hit, but errors and free passes. That kills you in the postseason.
That's ball 4. So Hoyer walks Robbie Grossman. Speaking of, second walk issued by White Sox pitching in this game. With the 8th place hitter Ramon Laureano coming up. Ramon, who's got the power to change the feel of this game with 1 swing. 2 for 8 in this series. Grounded out his first time up today. That was against Aaron Bummer. Dunning, Crochet, Bummer, now Hoyer.
Kind of felt like he ran shuttle runs that entire inning. We had him on the microphone, hearing him breathing and getting that up close personal conversation with him out in the outfield. And he talked about, a lot of players have talked about the fans, the lack of, and now family members being allowed into the stands, how much that's mattered to so many players.
Well, we can hear him, that's for sure.
There's only a few of you got to be loud.
Right there for strike one.
In fact, there's going to be fans allowed. Championship Series, the National League in Dallas, a brand new stadium. 11,500 fans will be allowed for both the Championship Series and the World Series. First time that brand new stadium will see fans. First time we'll see a significant amount of fans at all this season.
Foster, the right-hander. Carlos Rodon, who's been hurt a lot, is mostly a starter for the White Sox. Those two were getting ready in the White Sox bullpen. And that man is going to have to manage very aggressively today. Already has. Runner at first, 1 out. Laureano ahead of the count, and he takes a strike. I asked Rick Renteria, we did before the game, whether there was a possibility of seeing Lucas Giolito maybe for an inning. And he said no.
Don't get your hopes up, Flem, is what he was trying to tell you.
That ball chopped foul. Laureano chokes up a little bit with 2 strikes.
Oh, it was definitely a gem of a performance on Monday. Don't think they should have ran him back out there in the 8th inning and ended up working out, but he was perfect through 6. Gave up the 1 hit to La Stella in the 7th, and they brought him back out in the 8th. You could tell he was tired and ended up having to bring him out. He was upset a little bit in the dugout, but I think overall now, realizing how well he did.
2-2. Laureano strikes out. Changeup got him.
You know, and after going 96, 97, pretty much the same zone, take a look at the changeup here, taking 10 miles an hour off of that same pitch, same location. Laureano saw fastball. And about 3/4 of the way in, he realized that's not the fastball.
So 2 down for Sean Murphy, who walked his first time up today. Slider outside for ball 1. A's have 4 hits, and they've drawn 2 walks in the first 4 innings. They've had some chances, but no runs yet. The White Sox have had 8 hits. That one is hit well to left field. Sean Murphy can watch it, and we got a brand new ball game. 2-run homer for the rookie catcher Sean Murphy. One swing. Has changed the feel of this game big time. A really, really impressive young player.
Sean Murphy had taken a sinker off the plate. First pitch of this at bat, gets one a little bit more over the plate. Still not a bad pitch. And he knows he gets barrel on this one. As soon as he makes contact, it's out of here. One of the better eyes in the game. He's the 9-hole hitter for this A's team. But like both of these lineups pop all the way throughout. This game's within 1 run.
Wow, what an impressive swing of the bat that was. Three to 2 White Sox with a long way to go. The A's, who have not come from behind, were trailing by 3 or more runs in the playoffs in a long while. Game 3 against the Red Sox in 1988, 24 straight times And look, the game's not over. They're still trailing. But that has given them a whole new life. And Rick Renteria is coming out right now to make the change. So he's not going to let Hoyer face Tommy La Stella. Carlos Rodon, the left-hander, is going to come in. So as the White Sox make another pitching change to bring in their 5th pitcher already, we'll step aside ourselves. That swing of the bat, has that saved the A's season? We're going to find out over the course of the afternoon from the Oakland Coliseum. A 1-run game. White Sox ahead 3-2. History, most pitchers used by one team in a game 9. The White Sox are going to their 5th pitcher over the first 4 innings at the Coliseum. This winner-take-all game 3. Wild card series on the American League side. Carlos Rodon, who really did not pitch much at all this year. 4 appearances, 2 starts, had shoulder soreness that kept him out for most of the year. When he is right, when he is healthy, when he is on, he is nasty. Tommy La Stella with 2 outs and the bases empty takes ball 1. Has been almost exclusively a starter the last several years for the White Sox, but at the very end of the regular season, pitching out of the bullpen. La Stella, who's 1 for 2. Sean Murphy's 2-run homer has cut the lead down to 1. Good take on the slider, which has always been the best pitch for Carlos Rodon. Dunning, Crochet, Bummer, Hoyer, and now this left-hander right in there at 96. He looks healthy. It's 2-2. Slider, and he kind of hung that one. La Stella just fouled it off.
It's been the slider. Actually, was his best pitch the last 2 years, Flem, for Rodon, but this year it's what he struggled with the most. Of course, just the 7 innings pitched, but 3 walks and the location of that slider has been everything for him.
And we'll see how long the White Sox are going to ask him to go in this game. He almost hits La Stella. That slider got away, way up and inside. So that one was very wild. The count runs full, 3-2. Amazing how in these playoff games the feel of the thing can change so quickly. Good swing, but a foul ball against the fastball. Count still full. Another 3-2 pitch. La Stella takes ball 4. What a great at bat that was to draw a 2-out walk.
You know, Tommy La Stella, we've given Tim Anderson a ton of credit for what he's done at the top of the lineup for the White Sox, but Tommy La Stella has had some at bats. He's gotten his singles. He walks more than he strikes out. He battles up at the plate, and that was a huge example within that at bat of just getting a pitch that he wanted to, and when he didn't, he took the rest until he got himself on base with a walk.
That Foster back up. That one was dropped by Grandal. Man, that was a strike, and I think it was going to be called a strike. Ted Barrett kind of flinched, and Grandal dropped it. That doesn't happen very often. That might have cost his pitcher strike 1. Instead, it's 1-0 to Marcus Semien. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that from Yasmani Grandal. That slider misses in. Semien had a hit in the third inning. He's 1 for 2 so far. That third inning, the A's loaded the bases up. Ultimately got Matt Olson to the plate. Tim Anderson made a big play in that inning that did prove to save a run for the White Sox. Difference in the game right now. Semien takes inside, ball 3. Well, Rodon, I think he's thinking he's getting squeezed, and those are reasonably close pitches, but it's 3-0. You got a right-handed hitter with some pop. Chad Pinder waiting on deck. You saw the White Sox maybe going back to the phone in the dugout. Here's the 3-0. That is right there for a strike. Marcus Semien, who came up with the White Sox, made his major league debut again for the White Sox, now playing against him in the playoffs, and Renteria in a 3-ball 1-strike count is coming out. Well, I don't know if this is a strategy meeting. It would be very unusual to make a pitching change middle at bat the way this at bat has gone. Maybe a little pep talk. Rodon's going to stay in the game. Authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. Grandal back behind home plate. 3-ball 1-strike count to Semien.
I never thought at any point in the game I'd say they only have 6 pitchers left, but when you're in the 4th inning, that's a reason why Rick Renteria went out there, is the pitching change. They need to be able to get out of this inning. They're counting outs right now.
3-1. Right down the middle. Fastball. 3-2.
Trying to figure out what Semien's looking for. 3-0, it made sense, but that was 3-1. I mean, that's his zone. Middle away, 96.
La Stella will go. 3-2 is hit hard and past the attempt of Moncada down the left field line toward the corner. La Stella coming around third, and he will stop. Into second with a double is Marcus Semien. Well, we saw a ball like that on the White Sox side where it was hit so hard that even with 2 outs running on contact from first, a ball going all the way into the corner was not able to score the runner.
The reason why Semien was taking 2 fastballs away is he was looking for something inside. He gets it right here, actually hooks it down the line. That's why it ends up way down in the corner. Tommy La Stella with the jump thought he might have had a chance to even continue down, but Marcus Semien has been huge this postseason. Yesterday the home run, now a huge double here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
The A's on the board here in the 4th, a chance to go ahead, and the White Sox are going to issue the intentional walk, which is interesting with Chad Pinder coming up to get to Mark Canha, and Rick Renteria is going to come out and make a pitching change. So young Matt Foster, how you like this for a playoff debut? Bases loaded, 1-run game, and against the cleanup hitter. So Rodon, I mean, he never did get anybody out. He walked Tommy La Stella, gave up the double, and Rick Renteria had seen enough. The A's threatening to tie or go ahead. 3-2. Back right after this. By Hankook Tire from the Oakland Coliseum, and it's hard to believe 3-2 White Sox. We're only in the 4th inning. Could it be that with all hands on deck in a winner-take-all game that the White Sox are running out of arms? They still have plenty of firepower, but they've run through a bunch. Matt Foster now takes over, the rookie, making his playoff debut. 23 appearances. He pitched very well for the White Sox in the regular season, but he inherits a bases loaded situation. After the intentional walk loaded him up, Mark Canha, righty against righty. 3-2 White Sox. Bottom 4 and way outside with ball 1. It is certainly not the ideal spot to ease a young pitcher into his first postseason experience, but Rick Renteria trusts this guy a lot. Canna, 1 for 2 in the game. Foster's 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. A walk ties the game.
Remember, this is a rookie that ideally even Rick Renteria talked about wanting to put him in a clean inning. I think that's why he gave Rodon a little bit extra there. He did not want to bring him in right now with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Sean Murphy's 2-run home run got this rally started. 2-0 pitch, and that's right there on the corner. Nice fastball, 2-1, and with 2 outs, La Stella drew a walk. Simeon doubled. Pinder was given the intentional walk. This is the second at bat in the last 2 innings for Mark Canha with the bases loaded. There's the young catcher who changed this game with 1 swing. Two-1. Not close. Ball 3.
This one, gotta take a deep breath. You could tell just the overthrow of the fastball. He did a nice job the last pitch, just slowing everything down, even dropped down the mile per hour. When your heart's pounding and this is your first time in this game, it's hard to control.
Canha asked for time. Well, it's hard to ask for a better spot than this as a hitter. Bases loaded, a walk ties the game. You figure you're going to get something to hit in a 3-1 count. Here comes from Foster. Way outside, ball 4. Man, those last 2 pitches not anywhere close. The walk has tied the game. It's not the manager. It's Don Cooper who's going to come out and try to calm his rookie down. Those last 2 pitches are red flags.
As were the first 2. I mean, you could tell just some overthrowing happening, and that's exactly what you do. As a hitter, you overswing. As a pitcher, you overthrow. When your heart is pounding, you try to keep that adrenaline down, but you can't.
Amazing how the pressure of the playoffs affects everybody. It was not that long ago. The White Sox it felt like they were in total control of this game. They had dominated the scoring chances. Their bullpen was kind of cruising along.
But now you see why Renteria came out to talk to Carlos, really tried to get everything he could to make sure that Carlos could finish this inning. They knew they wanted Matt Foster to come into this game, but they wanted him to come in clean, give him a shot to be able to calm those nerves and not have this huge, high-pressure, game-changing situation.
Yep. Good point. Bases loaded, 2 down. Tie game now. Matt Olson, another shot for him, and he takes the changeup low. He had bases loaded in the 3rd himself and struck out. That was against Hoyer. Now he faces another young White Sox righty, looking for his first hit of the series. Very high, ball 2.
If I'm Olson right now, I'm not swinging. I mean, you're making him, yes, he could throw you something right middle over the plate, but you can tell he's off, he's nervous. You want to put the pressure, keep the pressure on the pitcher right now. Don't help him out.
9th batter of the inning. The A's have already tied the game with 3 runs here in the 4th. And a 2-ball, no strike count with a guy on the mound having a hard time throwing strikes. Here's the 2-0. And that was close, but called a ball. Change up. Grandal definitely wanted it. Foster definitely wanted it.
Usually you see an umpire's zone get wider in situations like this, but he has not given him anything. It's got to be a red light, not swinging all the way.
3-0. And he gets the call on the inside corner. Fastball, strike one. More bullpen activity for the White Sox. Evan Marshall is up and throwing. Foster is the 6th pitcher of the game for the White Sox. It's the 4th inning. 3-1. Not close, ball 4. He's walked in another run, and that's how the A's have gone ahead. 4-3.
This is so hard to watch. You can just see and feel the wheels turning. And you can imagine, by the way, if there were fans in Oakland right now, just how much more pressure there would be, how much they'd be on their feet, yelling, getting on Matt Foster. But I feel for him right now just because he's got that pressure, the adrenaline, his heart is pounding, and all you want to do is throw a strike.
He's only thrown 2 of them in 10 pitches. He's walked in 2 runs. Chris Davis with the bases full, way outside, ball 1. Man.
This is a rookie arm just showing you all over the place. His misses have been left, up, down.
Davis hits a high fly ball right field in the ballpark. Mazzara makes the catch, and the White Sox at least survive a total meltdown. But Sean Murphy's 2-run homer started at the A's out in front, 4-3. Well, a game changer for the A's, an agonizing bottom of the 4th inning for the White Sox. The A's score 4 runs to take the lead. 2 of those 4 runs came on bases loaded walks. There were 5 walks issued in the inning all told. The White Sox used 3 different pitchers. Took almost a half hour. So Frankie Montas, who came into the game for the top of the 4th inning, retired the side in order. It's been more than a half hour since he's thrown a pitch. He'll face James McCann for his first at bat after he had a pinch run. Eloy Jimenez, who had a double in the 3rd inning, had to come out of the game, aggravating, or however you want to describe it, a flare up of his right foot sprain running the bases. And McCann, who's had good at bats for the White Sox really all year long, against Montas, who showed very good stuff in the 4th inning. Inning number 5, the A's were down 3-0. They lead 4-3. A fastball right there for a strike to McCann.
This is exactly where the A's want to be, not just with the lead, but having the ball with Frankie Montas after that last inning in the 4th. His stuff is real. He can give them some length.
McCann, the slider at 90 miles an hour. He took it just off the outside. Well, the way that 4th inning unfolded, I wonder if Rick Renteria might have any regrets about the intentional walk. That ball is hit to right field. Coming in on it is Canna for out number 1. And just the point being, you were talking about no margin for error for a rookie making his playoff debut. You have Rodon issue the intentional walk to load the bases and then bring Foster in the game, and there was no margin for error. And maybe it was going to be that he was going to struggle with his command anyway, but the intentional walk took away any wiggle room for his young guy.
Yeah, I did not like the decision to walk and then to bring in Foster. And it's easy to look at now, but I mean, even anyone could have told you, I mean, the nerves. And we've seen so many rookies come in and not shown that, but Rick Renteria was aware of it, and it was something he wanted to try to do. But I think because they had other guys to go to, that either keep Carlos in there or go with someone else that isn't going to be able to be in the biggest pressure moment, first postseason game.
Only the 5th inning. Moncada got a big piece of Sean Murphy. Ouch. Well, Murphy appears to be okay. A's can't lose him. He might be their best hitter right now. Right in the face mask. His 2-run home run changed the game.
Speaking of rookies, it's hard to believe he is one. How well he's looked, not just in this series, throughout his rookie season.
Moncada against the 99-mile-an-hour fastball stays alive.
Montas is feeling it. I had him opening day. I had a chance to talk to him before it, and he talked so much because of his PED suspension last year, how much he wanted to prove. I felt like he almost wanted to prove it so much. That's why he struggled early.
Look at that changeup.
And after seeing his start on Sunday, just kind of settling in, I think getting himself into a position where he wants to be. Depth of that pitch. Split finger.
Great take. Moncada, who is, I think he's the tough luck hitter in this whole series. I mean, it's hard to believe how hard he has hit the ball that he still does not have a hit in the 3 games. It's that one down the left field side, out of play. First inning, Moncada came up just with 2 in scoring position and hit a rocket to right field. Yesterday, he was the guy who hit the ball that Canha caught, leaping against the wall.
Don't hit it to Canha.
Anywhere else. He hits that one up the middle. Canha's not there. Nobody's there. Well, he's got a hit. So a 1-out single with Luis Robert, who's coming up here, and Robert has had just a tremendous game, an all-time home run, the longest in the StatCast era at the Oakland Coliseum. And Robert up the middle for a base hit to knock in the 2nd White Sox run. So he's 2 for 2 with a home run and an RBI hit. And Luis Robert stands in with a runner at first and 1 out. Chases that hard slider for strike 1. Youngest player with a home run in a winner-take-all game. Mickey Mantle was 20 years old. George Brett was 23 in the history of the American League. Luis Robert right in between 2 Hall of Famers. Pounds that one on the ground, foul. Strike 2. Well, the talent level for this guy is just power, speed, arm. Physically as gifted as anybody in the major leagues already. It's that one off to the right, back into the seats.
Flem, he wants the ball. I mean, there is serious conviction right now. I mean, he's catching and going. And a pitcher always tells me how they're feeling by their pace. When they're taking their time, a lot of deep breaths coming off the mound. We saw it on the reverse side, right, from Matt Foster. Just the amount of time he was taking, you could tell there were nerves, there was adrenaline. Guaranteed Montas has got some adrenaline, but it's working for him. He wants the ball, and he is pitching with some serious conviction right now.
0-2. Got him swinging. Nasty slider for strike 3.
I mean, after you pump in 97, 98 at the top of the zone, we've seen the split finger changeup, but here's a look at the slider, the same as the first pitch at the at-bat, and we showed how Luis Robert, how well he'd looked this game, the home run, the double. This shows you how dirty the pitch is, because that's a great hitter up there, completely fooled by a breaking ball.
First time Robert makes an out here in game 3. It's the 5th inning. The White Sox were ahead 3-0. Now they trail 4-3. The first winner-take-all game in the playoffs in the history of the White Sox franchise. Nomar Mazara 1 for 2. Now, he was not a guaranteed starter for this game 3. First start in the series. Already has a run-scoring double. He takes that one right on the inside corner for a strike.
This is a two-seam fastball, and it comes inside to Mazara. I mean, this is how good of a pitch it was. And then it ends up leaking back over the plate for a strike. That's why Mazara turned around and said, "Are you sure that was a strike?" It started as a ball, ended up as a strike over the plate.
It was a very poor year offensively for Nomar Mazara, but he's had some good at-bats in these last 2 games. He had an at-bat yesterday in a big spot where he thought, and I thought, he did get victimized by a bad strike 3 call. That one right over the outside, 0-2. Frankie Montas out of the A's bullpen here in this winner-take-all game, trying to finish off a second scoreless inning. Moncada at first after his 1-out single. 0-2 the count to Mazara. High fastball. I don't know how he got the bat on that ball.
Mazara, just to be able to make contact with that, that shows you some skill from him. This pitch you had no business even swinging at, let alone trying to make contact with. This is 97. Ends up, I think, at his forehead. Makes contact with it, spoils it. I think he throws him the split after that swing, knowing, okay, we can't go any higher than that if we have a chance of Sean Murphy catching anything. So go down either the split or the slider.
Oh, 2 in the dirt with the runner going. Murphy's throw, one hop, tag a little late. Moncada steals his way into scoring position.
You know, I think Moncada saw the same thing too. Great read on his part of just understanding the situation, knowing this is going to be an off-speed pitch most likely. Gets a perfect jump. Actually, not, you know, a ton of speed even those first few steps, but the read of the pitch, the fact that Murphy made this close shows you a little bit about his arm strength.
Now Moncada is a little banged up. Well, the White Sox say he's saying he's fine. Not that I'm rooting for pain, but hopefully more pain than injury. White Sox have already lost 2 players to injury in this game. Now he hit the dirt hard. 1-2. Base hit. Could tie it up. Mazara, good take.
You know you got to go back with the fastball at this point. He showed him the split. He came back with the slider. Mazara has shown you he can hit even at his forehead. I think up and in with the fastball. Can't be away.
LaStella playing so deep at second base. It's not a big overshift, but LaStella at second moving around. Moncada leads away from second. Montas checked him, 2-2, down and in. Full count, 3-2.
He shook the fastball. He wanted that slider. And this is the conviction I'm telling you about. I mean, he knows he's got a plan. I mean, he's 3-2 right now. This is the pitch with 2 outs. White Sox have a chance to tie it. What do they go with? Murphy's thinking right now.
Three and 2. Mazara hits one on the ground and nobody's there. LaStella playing as deep as he was, could not get to it. Moncada steal, a huge play. He comes around and scores to tie the game 4-4.
Wouldn't a bat for Mazara. I think him being able to show that he could hit the fastball, at least foul off the fastball, forced Montas to be able to go back to the slider. This is a bad slider. The cement mixer he leaves over the middle of the plate, gets lucky that actually Mazara hits this on the ground instead of getting underneath it. This could have been a lot more damage than just a single, but enough to tie this game 4-4.
Adam Engel with the good take. Moncada being checked on. I mean, he's still obviously in a little pain. Well, that's huge for the White Sox. He's got to be able to stay in this game, you figure. His steal was a key play. Adam Engel has had good at-bats over and over. Takes a strike. So we're back to even. It was 3-0 White Sox. The A's took a 4-3 lead. Now the White Sox right away have bounced back to tie it up.
Evenly matched teams, Flem. You've said it from the beginning.
I thought it was the most evenly matched series on paper before this wild card round started. Engel took a swing, popped it up. La Stella, Laureano, La Stella juggles, and he caught it. What a catch by Tommy La Stella. Montas, some nervous moments there. Who knows if that kicks away, that might score the run from first.
La Stella going back, the juggle. There was no way Laureano was getting to this. What a catch out in right center field. 1-2 with the grab. Keeps this game going, tied at 4. So we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Take all. Game 3 of this wild card round. The only one in the American League to get to a Game 3. White Sox and A's. First time in the playoffs the White Sox have ever played a winner-take-all game. The A's have lost 9 straight of these going back to the 1973 World Series. And we have a dogfight with all kinds of pitchers being used. Evan Marshall takes over. Matt Foster did get the final out in the 4th, but just barely. And so now Marshall in the 5th. 4-4. Robbie Grossman takes a breaking ball in for a strike. We've seen Marshall in this series, and he was very good.
Very good. Fastball, saw the curveball there. He's a really elite changeup that we should see within this at bat, especially to the lefty Grossman.
Oh, and 2. Dunning, Crochet, Bummer, Hoyer, Rodon, Foster, and now Marshall. The most outs that any of these White Sox pitchers have gotten is 4. Cody Hoyer got 4 outs. The starter, Dane Dunning, gave up 2 hits, did get 2 outs, but was pulled. Garrett Crochet got a big strikeout in the first inning, then had to leave the mound in the second with an injury. Way inside to Grossman. Left forearm tightness for young Garrett Crochet, and that injury I do think has sort of muddled the plans for those 2 gentlemen who had an idea, at least a roadmap of how they wanted to work their way through this game. And I think that injury changed things a little bit.
It changed things a lot. And even from the decisions that have come since then, I mean, I really feel like that 4th inning, Carlos's stuff was not awful, by the way. I know he was getting hit, but to intentionally walk Chad Pinder, I go through my scorebook and circle moments. That was the moment right there, knowing you were going to bring in a rookie in Matt Foster. It's easy to look back on, but even at the time, that's something I think even Rec Renteria now thinks should not have done it.
Grossman drives one to right field, but kind of off the end of the bat. Mazzara is there for out number 1. Let's check in with Kevin in studio.
All right, Fleming, it's time for today's wild card roundup brought to you by Coors Light. The Braves are moving on to the divisional round after sweeping the Reds. Marcell Ozuna, a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. Adam Duvall followed with one of his own. Selfies everywhere for a Braves team whose pitching dominated 28 Ks in 2 games. They await the Marlins-Cubs winner, 5-0 the final. Flem?
Well, look, the Reds, I think everybody circled. Thank you, Kevin. The Reds circled as a potential surprise team, but it's hard to win. They didn't score a run in the 2 games against Atlanta. Braves pitching just totally shut them down.
I was going to say that's a credit, I think, to the Braves pitching and some nerves. I mean, you talk about experience, lack of experience. That's when it shows up. Yes, they have Moustakas. They have players that have had it, been there. But overall, just you're going up against Max Fried in 13 innings. And then Ian Anderson today, I mean, he looked lights out.
In the dirt from Marshall to Laureano. 2-0. Laureano 0 for 2 in this game. Sean Murphy, with one very big hit already, is waiting on deck. 4-4, bottom 5. Called a ball, and Marshall wanted to know. Ted Barrett gave the little point. He said that was inside. Ted Barrett's got the game face on. Of course, he grew up sparring against George Foreman and Mike Tyson, so I think he's got sort of a game face at all times.
Yeah, I would say so.
Don't argue with Ted. There's a strike. 20th game in his umpiring history in a playoff game behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. And he's had a good strike zone today. 3-1. Pulled foul.
Laureano just hasn't been able to square anything up. He's had a good eye on certain pitches. He struck out on the changeup his last at bat. And even some of these foul balls, you can tell he's just missing them.
JB Wendelken, we saw him in game 1 of this series. Threw the ball extremely well. Had a great year for the A's. 3-2, got him swinging. Laureano chases a little bit out of the strike zone. 2 down. So Sean Murphy comes up with the bases empty. He came up last inning with a runner on and changed the game for the A's with 1 swing.
Fastball down and away. Just the length of his swing, being able to not only get barrel around it, driving it out to left field. The difference in this game, Flem, because that's what got things going. They ended up scoring a couple more after that. Now we're all tied up.
It doesn't happen from the number 9 spot in the order that often. Sean Murphy's a pretty good 9th place hitter. He takes a strike. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1.
And listening to how much his teammates rave about him, especially obviously the pitching staff. I mean, they talk about him not being a rookie, but understanding really each and every one of their personalities, what they need to do, when they need to be yelled at, when they need to be kind of left alone. That's a lot to balance, not just being a 9 spot in this lineup, but also managing an entire staff.
Way up and in with a slider. Marshall wants a new baseball. Sean Manaea. He's available for the A's. I don't know if we'll see him or not. He definitely went around. Ted Barrett did not need to ask for help. That's strike 2. Grandal waiting to give the sign. Marshall's ready now. Here's his 1-2 pitch, way outside with the fastball.
Tommy La Stella, who's, I know Sean Murphy, given him a lot of the credit for the at-bats that he's had, but Tommy has my pick for the best at-bats of this series. Drawing walks, scoring runs, getting opportune hits, just being a tough out overall.
In the dirt, 3-2. His walk followed the Murphy home run. I mean, Murphy hits the home run. Okay. A's are back in the game, but the White Sox still led at that point. Renteria went to the bullpen, brought in Carlos Rodon, and La Stella just had that terrific at bat that ended up in a walk, and that started the new rally for the A's, where they got 2 more and ultimately took the lead. 3-2. Murphy tried to hold up. No swing on appeal. That was close. Ball 4. That one deserves a look. Rick Renteria not happy.
Well, it was similar to the one they said that he did. Looks like he does hold up barely. The breaking ball. This has been the pitch each time Murphy wanted to go fishing on.
So it turns into another walk for Sean Murphy, who's on base for the 3rd straight time in this game. LaStella's been on base twice with the single in the first. The walk last inning, has scored a run. He takes a curve, or I say curve, maybe you'd call that a slider. Strike one.
Of all the hitters in Major League Baseball, there's only 6 that have walked more than they've struck out. Wrap your mind around that. Not just 2020, but 2019. I mean, the years of strikeouts, right? Every year it's breaking records. Tommy LaStella is old school in the sense that he's got a great eye. Catcher's interference.
Wow. So Grandal reached out on the swing and foul tip. I thought it was a foul tip. It was a swing and miss, and he hit the glove. So that puts LaStella at first and pushes a runner into scoring position. The White Sox want to take a look at that. You can look in your replay room on that call, but I don't think there's much to see. We heard the sound.
Yeah, it clips it. I think the biggest thing is that Grandal didn't argue.
Yeah, he definitely hit the glove.
Yeah, and the way Tommy LaStella, I mean, watch his immediate reaction, because you feel it as a hitter. And something catches your backswing.
A walk, and that officially goes down as an error to the catcher, has given the A's a rally. Semien takes strike one. Marcus Semien.
What haven't we seen this game, Slim?
Yeah, we've seen everything. It's only the 5th inning. Semien has come to life these last 2 games. 2 for 3 today. Single, double. His double knocked Rodon out and got Foster in, essentially. Way outside. Well, you also think ahead, Jess, and I mean the way the White Sox bullpen has been pushed already in this game. I think 2 outs, nobody on. Rick Renteria is thinking, all right, make this a quick inning. Maybe Evan Marshall can stay in the game. Now, 23rd pitch of the inning, and he's not through it yet. In the dirt.
Running out of arms.
Pitchers still available. I mean, Jimmy Cordero is available, but he worked a lot yesterday. Colomé, the closer. Dylan Cease pitched an inning yesterday. Jace Fry, the lefty. I mean, technically, Giolito and Keuchel are available. Keuchel started yesterday. On the ground foul. 2-2. We asked Rick Renteria before the game, is it possible that Lucas Giolito could give you an inning? And the answer was a definitive no, but who knows?
I don't even think he had a jersey on. I mean,
he can definitely find one of those.
Earlier, Lucas and Dallas, the shades on, hanging out, but you're right. They needed him. He'd figure out a way to get ready.
2-2. Good take by Semien. That Marshall changeup, which is his best pitch. So he's run this count full. A's are just wearing the White Sox pitchers down with patience. Runners get the head start with 2 outs and a full count. Murphy from second, LaStella at first. There they go, and it's ball 4. Marshall, man, another. Sometimes you hear the term non-competitive pitch. Easy take for Marcus Semien. Bases loaded again for the A's. Another meeting on the mound. Now playing on MLB, on ESPN rather. What a week for ESPN. MLB Best of 3 Wildcard Series continuing today and tomorrow. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tomorrow. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. The Heat and the Lakers on ABC. It's all now playing on ESPN and the ESPN app. Good times in Southern California. Dodgers and the Lakers both going for championships. The Lakers look primed.
Yes, they do, as do the Dodgers. Their win yesterday, although much closer game than I think a lot of people anticipated.
It looked early like it was going to be a blowout. Give the Brewers credit for hanging in. They played game 2 of that series tonight right here on ESPN. Chad Pinder is the hitter. Bases loaded, 2 down. Tie game, bottom 5. Got the low strike. It's just turned into an agonizing game for White Sox pitchers. That is hard to believe. He does have a grand slam, but career with the bases loaded, 2 for 35. Not anymore. Into left field past the dive of Anderson. 1 run in. The throw is not there. Grandal thought he got the tag on. A 2-run hit. The A's go ahead 6-4. Chad Pinder comes through in a huge spot.
Well, this is a changeup. Talk about being the best pitch for Marshall, but right now A's hitter is just seeing him super well. 111 miles an hour off the bat past the diving Anderson.
Adam Engel's throw, good attempt by Grandal, but the tag was not there. He missed him by an inch maybe. A's back ahead.
It goes back. I mean, you think about it, 2 walks and an error in this inning. Not so much the hits.
Just a total rally for free given by the White Sox to the A's, and give the A's credit for capitalizing.
I mean, 8 free passes just on the walks alone. I mean, that's an Oakland A's team that, yes, they may have struggled at times with their offense, but they are definitely going to capitalize on that many free passes, let alone the error in this inning by the catcher Grandal.
So now Mark Canha, who walked with the bases full in the 4th, up with 2 on and 2 out here in the 5th. He hits a high pop-up foul out of play. Strike 2. Well, we know the White Sox have the firepower. 2nd highest scoring team in the American League this year. Nobody hit more home runs than they did. But now they're playing from behind and trying to keep this a 2-run deficit. Abreu, Robert, Moncada, all the sluggers. I mean, this is not by any means over. Long way to go.
Think how many arms the A's still have, though. The White Sox blowing through their bullpen. A's just on their 3rd pitcher.
Canha to right field. Mazzara is there for out number 3. But a 2-out rally that started with a walk, an error, and another walk. Pinder catches it in for 2 more for the A's, who come from behind today in this winner-take-all game 3. La Stella just ahead of the tag of Grandal. 6-4. A's lead through 5. Vote to learn more on what is undoubtedly a hazy day. The wildfires all around Northern California. Looking through the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco across the Bay Bridge in Oakland at the Coliseum. The A's were down 3-0 in this winner-take-all game. They now lead 6-4. Chad Pinder's 2-run single has put Oakland back ahead, and J.B. Wendelken takes over out of the Oakland bullpen against the White Sox 9th place hitter. Got the call on the slider, strike 1. We saw him in game 1. He was really good.
He was, and he can also give you some length. He's got 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup.
Length from anybody in this game would be a good thing. I think both managers would believe. Wendelken in game 1 definitely gave Bob Melvin that. 2 2/3 innings through 38 pitches. Yesterday did not pitch. Should be fresh and good to go. High and tight with the fastball. Throwing strikes out of the bullpen today has not been easy. And that's almost exclusively on the White Sox pitching side. The A's out of the bullpen. Haven't been perfect. Good swing by Nick Madrigal. 2-2.
Nicky 2 strikes. This is what he's known for, the name that Jason Benetti, the White Sox announcer, has given him. Hitting over 400 with 2 strikes. He's shown it within this series. He can battle.
Now you got the top of the lineup after this. 2-2. He took it. A lot of movement on that breaking ball.
You see him stay with it, though. I mean, his whole, first starting with his lower half, then his hands, everything staying with that pitch, but he's able to hold up.
3-2. On the ground to first. Scooped up by Olsen, who's going to take it himself. 1 away. So Matt Olsen makes the play. Anderson will bat with the bases empty. Tim Anderson, what a series. 8 for 12 in the 3 games. 2 for 3 today with a double. And you look back on the way this game has unfolded. The first inning, White Sox had a great chance, hit a ball hard into the defense, didn't score. Second inning, they got Abreu up with a run in and the bases loaded. And Yusmeiro Petit got him out. Those 2 innings are looming large in this game.
Yeah, it seemed like that second inning was going to be a lot bigger. It started off with the home run, and you're right, the loaded bases. It just felt like it was going to completely bust open after that. The big out of Abreu to end it.
Anderson chased inside, strike 1. Pitch had a lot of movement to it.
A lot of run. He'll get on that fastball into these righties. Start middle, run right into the hands.
One and two. Here comes. Good take. Yasmani Grandal on deck. Two and two. Wendelken throws. Anderson to center field. Laureano right there for out number 2. And pretty good at bat again from Tim Anderson. Not a hit this time. Well, Grandal will bat with the bases empty.
Yeah, he got the pitch he wanted, an elevated fastball, just hit it right to Laureano out in center.
Both of Grandal's hits in this series have been home runs. Took a good swing against the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Strike 1. Big offseason acquisition for the White Sox. They played well this year. Very good defensive catcher, switch hitter with power. Curve for a ball. He and James McCann are a heck of a duo. White Sox got a ton of production from their catcher spot this season.
A lot of times you'll see both in the lineup, as we do now.
Strike 2 swinging.
Fastball's got nice sink. Saw the run into righties, into the bat of Tim Anderson. There you see more of the sink. It's that late movement.
Defense shuffles around as the count changes. So Pinder moves over to the right side. Overloaded against Grandal, batting left-handed. 1-2. High fastball. Popped it up. Laureano in center. Underneath it. Out number 3, J.B. Wendelken. Good inning in relief for the A's, who lead 6-4. To make it to a win 3. White Sox pitching has had a tough time. Dane Dunning was the choice as the starter. Gave up 2 hits in 2/3 of an innings. The White Sox were aggressive. They went to their bullpen, and many of their pitchers have had a hard time throwing strikes. 127 pitches thrown, 8 walks. They've walked in 2 runs. And you could, even through the mask, you can see the look on Rick Renteria's face as Matt Olson skies one way up there, but foul. To start the bottom of the 6th inning. You can go back and revisit this game. Should he have been as aggressive in the early innings? Certain choices he's made. Intentional walk, low to the bases to bring a rookie in to make his playoff debut. I think all those are fair discussion points. But at some point, your pitchers have to throw strikes. And that has been a real hard thing for the White Sox in this game. Curveball is low.
Well, Renteria sees the best in his staff, and it's a really good staff. You look at Jimmy Cordero. Pulled up arm sleeve, warming up in the pen. But he has so much trust and belief. He's seen these guys at their best, and on paper, I mean, there is so much good. But at the end of the day, you got to come in, like you said, throw strikes and execute. Plus, then you factor in the rookies. I mean, there's 3 rookies within this bullpen that, I mean, heart's pumping. Adrenaline. The worst of it we saw with Matt Foster.
And all that said, it's only the 6th inning. Yesterday, the White Sox were down 5-0 into the 8th inning and got ultimately the go-ahead run in scoring position in that game as Olson goes down swinging. Man, is he having a tough time. That's his 3rd strikeout. He did draw the walk with the bases loaded when Foster just couldn't throw strikes back in the 4th inning. Otherwise, the A's just not getting much from their home run leader.
Chris Davis has been a different story, though. Same story coming in, regular season. A lot of struggles, not seeing the ball well. A lot of a look on Olson's face that Chris Davis also had, but throughout this series, yesterday and today, he has looked good in his at-bats.
Hits that one well to left field. Chasing after it, Engel. It is off the wall. Engel plays the carom, and Davis, who's not a real fast runner, that ball was hit so hard, he's got to settle for a loud, long single.
I mean, this misses being a home run by about 5 feet. Hits it 106 miles an hour off the wall. Gets this fastball. You see him open up that front hip. He does that so well. Steps kind of into the bucket. It works for him. Follows with his hands off the base of the wall. That hurts when you get to first base and the outfielder's already got the ball.
So a 1-out single. It was a lot louder than that, but it's just a single. Marshall against Robbie Grossman. With Cordero warming up in the bullpen, Grossman chases that changeup. Strike 1. Good year for Grossman. Not a robust batting average. That's kind of the story for this A's team as a whole. Drew a lot of walks, hit with power. Gives the A's offense in different ways. Strike 2 called. Oh for 2 with a walk in this game. Scored a run on the Murphy home run. Robbie Grossman did. 2-strike pitch from Marshall. A little bit high. Wow.
I just like the way your voice changed there. Not sure what call was going to be made. Here's the fastball up in the zone. Maybe nicks the top there, but I think it's a good call 0-2. A I'm on the side of the hitter.
That one definitely could have gone. Definitely could have gone either way. 1-2. Change up low. Davis at first, one out. Grossman to center field. Robert underneath it for out number 2. Davis back to first. A's have Lou Trevino, the right-hander, up in the bullpen, warming up like he's going to be coming in this game. When Delkin pitched a scoreless top of the 6th. Here's Ramon Laureano. Laureano 0 for 3. Change up, ball 1.
He's had a tough night. His last, I say night because we're heading into it, but I guess it started his day. But the last 2 at bats, 2 strikeouts, change up and a fastball away.
Got the call on the high breaking ball. It's 1-1. .43rd pitch from Evan Marshall. White Sox asking a lot out of him. He gave up the 2 runs last inning. An error, catcher's interference error, did not help. A couple of walks. Trying to get the White Sox through the 6th. They don't have a lot of choices at this point. That's ball 2. White Sox have already used Dunning, Crochet, Bummer, Hoyer, Rodon, Foster, and now Marshall. That sort of axe handle style bat for Laureano, who hits the 2-1 foul.
Choking up a little bit on the bat. That axe handle.
The winner of this game will advance to play the Astros in the division series, and if that happens, you can bet that Ramon Laureano will be asked a lot of questions about this season and his disagreements with the Astros. I did not blame Ramon. 2-2.
No, he had emotion. It's one of the things that makes him great.
Abreu makes the play. 1 hit, 1 left. On we go to the 7th in a winner-take-all game. 6-4 A's.
Show me the MS season schedule.
Are we allowed to ask Siri to wait on that for her answer? We have a new pitcher for the A's. Lou Trevino takes over in the 7th inning. The A's 9 outs away from advancing out of the wild card series into the divisional round. Jose Abreu against Trevino takes a strike. It's 0-1, 95 miles an hour. Another solid regular season for Lou Trevino, who's been a very important part of the A's bullpen the last few years. 20 appearances, 26 strikeouts in 23 innings. The 5th A's pitcher of the game. When Delkin gave him a scoreless 6th. Abreu, good cut, strike 2. Well, this is how you like to face Jose Abreu, with a 2-run lead and the base is empty if you're the opponent.
They've kept him fairly quiet. He had the double that ended up not doing anything. Got Tim Anderson to 3rd back in the 1st inning. But since then, ground out, strikeout.
0-2, very high. On deck, James McCann. That was Eloy Jimenez's spot. Jimenez had 2 at-bats in this game, including a double that started an important rally for the White Sox, but after that double had to come out. High and tight again, 2-2. So Lou, Trevino, and you figure if you're trying to think along with Bob Melvin, Trevino gives you the 7th. Jake Diekman, you have him ready for the 8th, and Liam Hendricks, despite what happened yesterday, I would imagine is available for the 9th. 2-2, way outside. We've seen some huge misses, and it might not even be the 8th inning before we see Jake Diekman. He's getting ready now. Three-two. Reached for and grounded up the middle. That was ball 4. Abreu chased the throw, and it pulled Olsen off the bag. So Abreu's safe. Simeon's throw, and Olsen tried to keep that foot on the bag. He just couldn't quite do it. That's huge.
Yeah, pretty routine play up the middle, and just.
Oh, and he forget the foot. He dropped the ball.
The throw itself, I mean, this would have been a rough reach in his glove and then out, but Simeon letting this ball sail up and to the right of Olsen, couldn't hang on.
I think on both counts the foot did come off the bag. Abreu is safe. Now James McCann is the tying run. So Trevino made a good pitch. Abreu chased, put it in play, and that turned into a base runner for the White Sox. McCann is 0 for 1 since coming in for Jimenez. Got the call. Trevino did. Strike 1. They're charging that error apparently to Matt Olson.
That's not fair.
I don't think so. I'm going to keep that as an E6 on my
Me too.
scorecard.
I already wrote it in. I like Marcus, but I think if you even ask Marcus and Matt, Marcus would definitely take credit of that throw being way too wide to expect Olsen. If he had held on, it wasn't his glove, but I mean, the stretch took him off the bag anyway.
In any event, it has given the White Sox some life here. A big error helped an A's rally. That one, strike 2. James McCann. Good offensive year for the White Sox. Really good defensive catcher. Now the DH in this game. 1-2. Inside. I think it hit him. It did. A's might want to ask whether he swung at the pitch. If you swing and it hits you, it's a swing.
I think he held back.
Bob Melvin wants to look and see if it hit the bat instead of McCann.
Oh, look at his back arm.
That got McCann for sure. And did he swing, which is not a reviewable play?
No.
I think you're right.
His
he
body
did not.
did. His body definitely went.
So we use the term rally for free on the other side of things. The A's took advantage. Now an error and a hit batter has given the White Sox a rally with Yoan Moncada coming up.
Old Dominion puts together a winning performance with precision, a #1 ranking in claims prevention, and by going the distance to become #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
So now Moncada, White Sox 2 on, nobody out. 7th inning, down 6-4. It has been a wild, at times ugly, fascinating game 3. Winner take all. Winner advances to the division series to play the Houston Astros. Abreu reached on the air, which they changed and gave to Simeon. Moncada takes low. Good save by Murphy. Yeah, I think that was an easy change. Just bookkeeping. Moncada, the at-bats have been way better than the numbers in this series. He pops that one up to shallow right. Marcana underneath it. That's out number 1. Runners hold. Well, Luis Robert back in the second inning hit one of the more impressive home runs I've ever seen. The longest home run at the Oakland Coliseum in the StatCast era, 487 feet, the second longest of the big league season. His first playoff home run, the rookie center fielder, another RBI hit in this game, 2 for 3. And a chance for another big moment for Luis Robert as he stands in against Trevino. 2 on, 1 out. Took that slider. And Robert is a guy who is not going to take a lot of pitches. He wants to swing the bat. But you got to take those in the dirt. Even with all his talents, he can't hit those. The 1-0. Strike 1. Foul tip into the glove of Murphy.
That's the thing. When you come up, you've got a ton of talent, and pretty much your entire career leading up into the big leagues, you can hit everything. And for Luis Robert, and for a lot of younger, talented players, you see the chase usually start higher just because until you get to a lot of the movement and spin that you see, before that you could hit anything, even out of the zone.
Well, he chased one there off the outside, still had a pretty good cut at it, but now he's behind at the count 1-2.
It's not even so much can you make contact with it, but can you drive it? And if you're Luis Robert, that's what you want from him in this batting order. He isn't a Nick Madrigal. He's not your Tommy LaStella or even Tim Anderson. He's there because you want run production. In this situation, you want him to drive the ball, not just make contact.
Tying runs on base for the White Sox. 1 out, 7th inning. 1-2 pitch is another good take on that breaking ball. So now it's 2-2. That White Sox dugout starting to come back to life. Here's the 2-2. Fastball. He challenged him. Wow.
That says a lot about Trevino. I mean, you know the talent of Robert, and he meets him fastball. Power on power, 95 miles an hour. He's just coming right at him. Pretty much over the middle of the plate. It's elevated, and that's why Robert ends up missing it, but he just does miss it. He's on time with it, just a little underneath.
Another 2-2 pitch. Trevino to the plate. That one is fouled off to the right. Olsen with all that room chasing. Olsen's there to make the catch, basket style. Spins around with Abreu tagging. The throw is a little bit late. Very aggressive base running for Abreu. Now 2 down though. No other ballpark in the big leagues. Maybe but the Coliseum is at and out. But Olsen, who knows this park so well, made the play.
Absolutely, and you can tell this is his home ballpark because not only does he get to this ball, but he knows he's not even near the wall yet. If this is anybody else who has not played here, they're nervous because at this point you've run yourself out of any other major league stadium in all of baseball because of Oakland and that huge foul territory. He's able to have enough room to make the grab.
So Trevino's now going to come out. You got the left-handed hitter Nomar Mazara due up. Jake Diekman will come in from the Oakland bullpen. 6-4 A's with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the 7th. And we're going to keep it here and recap what has happened in a wild Game 3. Luis Robert, the record-setting home run. That put the White Sox ahead. Abreu, huge at bat and a big moment in this game. Yusmeiro Petit with the bases loaded got Abreu out. So that was the only run they got in the second, the Robert home run. With the White Sox leading 3-0. This was the swing, Jess, that really changed the game. Sean Murphy.
Absolutely. It was the 2-run shot from Murphy that opened the doors, and it was the 4th inning that just kept on going. They'd scored 2 more on some free passes, walks. The big hit by Simeon.
And then Chad Pinder with the bases loaded, got one by the reach of the shortstop Anderson. That made the score 6-4 after the White Sox had tied it back up. And that's where we stand here in the 7th inning. The A's, who had lost so many games overall in the postseason, trailing by 3 runs, that streak, which, oh, look, it's not that unusual. You fall behind big. It's hard to come from behind in the big leagues. The White Sox, who have a great history in their postseason history of when they have a big lead, holding on. They have never lost a game when leading by 3 or more in a playoff game. But this is a totally different White Sox team, and it's an A's opponent that has played with a lot of determination these last 2 games. A's facing elimination 2 days in a row with all their agonizing recent playoff history. Now they give the ball to Jake Diekman, who saved the day yesterday. It sure needed saving. Jake Diekman came in when Liam Hendricks just could not get through the 9th inning. And Diekman got the final out to preserve a 5-3 win.
You're going to see a fastball and a slider, a ton of horizontal movement left to right on both those pitches. What he does best. And he has great splits. He's from the left side, but he can dominate righties and lefties.
Well, there is the A's closer, who was almost untouchable in the regular season until his final outing over the weekend, and then yesterday just did not have it. Didn't have his normal sharpness. I am almost sure, though, that we're going to see him here today in Game 3. So Mazara stays in to face Diekman. Lefty on left. And he almost got hit. I don't know how he didn't.
I think he's thinking the same thing. He's got the smile on his face. Like, did that ball go through me? I mean, it's right at him. He spins around.
Just barely missed that elbow guard. That would have loaded the bases. You got Adam Engel, right-handed hitter, on deck. Abreu, the runner at third. McCann at first, way outside with a fastball. This is the 3rd game in a row for Jake Diekman in this series. Now, not a lot of total pitches, really right around 20 in the 2 games combined coming in. But they are asking a lot of one of their most reliable relievers, Jake Diekman. Mazara had a pretty good swing. White Sox bullpen. Cordero continuing to stay loose. If the score stays the same, I'm guessing we'll see him. If the White Sox tie it up or go ahead, then maybe we'll see the closer. Alex Colomé is starting to get warm. Two 2-1 pitch. Strike 2.
Front door slider there from Diekman. The fact that he can throw that pitch to both sides of the plate is why he's had success against lefties and righties.
Mazara's had some of the best at-bats of this game for the White Sox. He's knocked in 2 of their 4 runs. He takes way outside the slider, and he's worked the count full here, 3-2. There's Engel, hoping to get a chance in this 7th inning. Diekman, 3-2. Ball 4. Mazara draws the walk. And the bases are loaded for the White Sox. Tying run in scoring position. Go ahead run over at first base. Another excellent trip to the plate for Nomar Mazara. You got to give him credit. He had a miserable year for the White Sox. Didn't start either of the first 2 games. Had two pretty good at bats, I think, yesterday, late in the game, coming off the bench, earned the start today, and he's on base for the third time.
And think of these three base runners, how they got on. An error by Simeon, a hit by pitch, and now a walk.
Not a hit in the inning, and the White Sox have the bases loaded with 2 down. Engel takes low, ball 1.
Got to give credit to both of these teams. One of the things I think has helped so much in Game 3 is you see Adam Engel take a deep breath there, is the patience. Making the pressure be on the pitcher. Not putting it on your shoulders as a hitter, but making them bring it over to the zone that you're looking for. And we've seen both of those teams execute that.
We've had so many bases loaded at bats in this game. The 1-0. That one is hit on the ground to second. La Stella throws out Engel, and Jake Diekman gets through it. A's go to the 7th inning stretch, still ahead 6-4. Well, our game track brought to you by Geico. Game summary: White Sox had an early 3-0 lead. The A's rallied for 4 in the bottom of the 4th. The White Sox bullpen had so many problems that inning. A's 2 more in the 5th. It has been a back and forth, crazy, not always pretty game. Luis Roberts' home run, the longest at the Coliseum in the StatCast era. Chad Pinder's hit scored those 2 runs in the 5th inning, and here we are, bottom of the 7th. The A's now 6 outs away from exercising some playoff demons, winning a series for the first time in a long time and getting through to take on the Astros, who await in the division series. So Cordero takes over on the mound. Murphy swings at the first pitch from Jimmy Cordero. It's 0-1. 35 pitches for the right-hander just yesterday. 2 2/3 helped keep the White Sox in the game. He did a really good job, and the White Sox almost took advantage of that and came back and won it.
He's got an electric fastball. He'll throw mid to upper 90s. He was cranking at 98, 99 yesterday.
Murphy, a little chopper. Anderson, sidearm, just got him. Good play, Tim Anderson. Oh, Joakim Soria is in the A's bullpen. Soria, who does not have the most decorated playoff history in his career and struggled a little bit in game 1 of this series, gave up a home run. Warming up like we're going to see him in the 8th inning. Tommy La Stella has been on base 3 times. A single, a walk, and he's reached on a catcher's interference, which is not that rare for him. He seems to have a knack for that. Strike 1. Very important trade for the A's. He was a big-time acquisition. Not the flashiest trade made, but a really impactful one. Cordero's 0-1 is a ball at 99.
Also shows you what consistent at bats can do to a player. Tommy La Stella, who's very much not even platoon with the Cubs. I mean, he would come in probably every 3 or 4 games, make an impact a lot of times when he did, but it wasn't until he went over to the Angels last year. You saw his numbers really grow, could really see the potential of when you're playing every day as a hitter, and he talked about it. He's got some of the best vision in the game. In fact, did a bunch of vision training earlier this year. The Harrisons, Ryan and Bill, and something that he worked a ton on, but regardless what training you do, you have to be able to see 97 miles an hour followed up by an 82 mile an hour breaking ball. To be able to read it and understand it and know the strike zone.
1-2. Goes down to get that pitch, and Engel's going to line it up and make the catch coming toward the foul line. Out number 2. So La Stella is retired. Marcus Semien will come up for the 5th time. 2 hits, a walk, been on base his last 3 times up. If the A's can survive this game in advance, Marcus Semien getting hot at the plate would be a total difference maker for Oakland. First pitch. Low strike with the fastball. Semien last year was one of the very best players in the big leagues. And look, this short, strange, unusual 2020 season, it happened to a lot of the game's best players. The numbers just were not there. Semien was one of them.
Javier Baez, Christian Yelich. I mean, there was many across the board. And a lot of it, I mean, you could attribute to a bunch of different things, but I know the A's have talked about the pressure of just, if you don't get going right after a couple weeks, I mean, you realize how short the season is, and there's a lot more pressure versus 162 games.
It's that one on the ground to third. Moncada throws him out with a little help from Abreu on the other end. So we'll see if Soria's coming in. Good inning for Cordero. 6-4 A's lead. 6-4 inning of this winner take all game 3 in the American League Wild Card Series from the Oakland Coliseum. And a new pitcher for the A's, Joakim Soria, the right-hander. In his postseason career, it has not been pretty with 4 different teams: Tigers, Pirates, Brewers, A's. But a guy who's been so solid in the regular season for Oakland against the 9-1-2 hitters. Fastball for strike 1 as we start the 8th. White Sox running out of outs. They got their best hitters, though, lined up. And maybe you might put young Nick Madrigal in that group. He has been a good table setter from the number 9 spot. At bat like this, I think, is one of the reasons why they like him in that spot. He hit that one right on the button, but to first. So Olsen makes the play. 1 away. Well, coming up very shortly, Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres. Such a special year for them, trying to keep their season going with all the adversity with injuries they are trying to fight through against the Cardinals right here on ESPN. Game 2 of that series when we are finished from Oakland. Won't be the last playoff chance for Fernando Tatis, even if today is the end of the Padres season. And I'm not saying it will be, but what a talent.
What a talented team. They've got a lot of young players. They're going to be around for a while.
Tim Anderson fouls that off to the right. Anderson 2 for 4. Everybody hanging on every pitch. That's a perfect pitch from Soria. Strike 2. The guy who's on deck, Yasmani Grandal, homered against Soria in game 1. And then the White Sox would get to their MVP. Kind of a hanging breaking ball, punched, and La Stella can't reach this one. Anderson dunks one in. So Anderson has his 9th hit in these 3 games. He's the first player in the history of Major League Baseball with 9 hits in his first 3 career postseason games.
If anyone would do it, I'd put Tim Anderson or DJ LeMahieu. They're the 2 best hitters when you look at, of course, winning the batting title, but just their ability to make contact with everything. Second player all time with 3 consecutive 3-hit games. How about that? Lou Brock, the other.
So now Grandal, against a guy that he homered against 2 days ago, is the tying run. He takes a strike right on the outside corner. 0-1. In this game, Grandal is 0 for 3 with a walk. 6-4 Oakland, 8th inning, 1 out.
This is his inning. First 2 games. He homered game 1, 8th inning, game 2 in the 8th inning.
He hits that one well down the left field line, but foul. 0-2. And I mean, I do think it's impossible to avoid, at least considering that this might be the spot for Liam Hendriks had the A's not used him the way they did yesterday. And I mean, Bob Melvin was not expecting Hendriks to be so out of whack. And you appreciate a manager in an elimination game being aggressive, but Hendriks today, you figure, just not quite capable of multiple innings.
Well, he didn't have a slider yesterday, and if he doesn't have a slider today, he might have been able to find that out a little bit more pregame. We saw him warming up, was showing some frustration. That could have been for a variety of reasons, but he's a two-pitch pitcher known for that deadly fastball, the slider off of it, and could not consistently throw one of his best pitches.
0-2. Soria to the plate. Very high. Now there he is. He's still got the sweatshirt on. Got 5 outs, needed 49 pitches to do it, and could not get the final out. So rare for a guy who's just been awesome. Well, they're paying attention to Anderson, which I understand. It'd be hard to think that the White Sox down 2, running out of outs with power at the plate, would risk an out on the bases. One and 2. Grandal, ball 2. Off the outside by a few inches. Not many hitters control the strike zone like Yasmani Grandal. Two-two. Change up, and it stayed high. That's not the way that Soria wants to throw that pitch. So
no.
Grandal was behind, and now he's worked the count full.
He was almost lucky that he finished it so high that it was a ball that Grandal didn't want to swing at. If he had ended up with that in the strike zone, Grandal was going to put it in the seats.
I'm with you. That's a dangerous pitch. So now full count, 3-2. We'll see if Anderson takes off. He does run. It's ball 4. They make the throw anyway, but he was going to be allowed to reach second base. It's a walk. The White Sox have put the tying run on. They have the go-ahead run up with Jose Abreu. More pressure put on the bullpen, and the White Sox are going to use Gerard Dyson as a pinch runner. Dyson, who's got excellent speed. So Grandal is out of this game. What a great gritty plate appearance from Yasmani Grandal, behind 0-2. So now Abreu, who's had so many big hits, not just this year, through his whole White Sox career, his first taste of the playoffs here in 2020 in a deciding game 3. First pitch, he had a big rip. Strike 1.
Ooh, you will see different swings from Jose Abreu. That was the swing where he wanted to put his team up by 1. Just missing that one.
Not great numbers.
Feel it.
I mean, that's a pretty decent number of at-bats head-to-head against one pitcher, 2 for 13. But one of those 2 was a home run. Speed on the bases for the White Sox. Down 2 in the 8th inning. Off the inside, ball 1. Chad Pinder at third. They used a pinch hitter, the A's did, for Jake Lamb very early in this game. No Matt Chapman. The A's trying to advance without their biggest star. Hurt in September and gone for the rest of the year. Bob Melvin, who's done such a great job in Oakland, but looking for playoff success, which has eluded him and eluded the A's in his tenure. The 1-1 pitch. Low, ball 2. A walk would load the bases, would put the tying run in scoring position. James McCann, who is now the DH, on deck. Abreu ahead of the count. Soria throws, and Abreu chased. Fastball well off the outside. 2-2.
This is an uncharacteristic, especially 2-1. You could tell he was looking fastball away. That's the only reason why he would chase something that's that far outside. Soria getting that late movement.
So now we'll see. I mean, you pointed it out. You get different swings in different situations from this guy. One of the game's most gifted hitters in a 2-2 count. Soria throws. Abreu fouls it off.
He's so good with that side of the plate, and he's good in too, but away he can have a lot of power without having a max effort swing. And you've seen in the last 2, it's about a 3/4 swing. What he wants to do right now is just find grass. That first swing was about finding the seats. Since then, it's about just getting a base hit and getting a run in.
Another 2-2 pitch on the way. Abreu bounces it past the pitcher. Simeon. That's 1. La Stella. That's 2. It's a double play. The A's turn it. And Joakim Soria, one of the biggest pitches he's made in his long big league career. The White Sox threaten with their best hitter up, but they do not score. And the double play turned at the most opportune time. The A's now 3 outs away from a series. Well, a Game 3 winner-take-all in Oakland, full of drama, full of opportunity on both sides. Joakim Soria with a terrific job to get through a big-time jam. Got the double play ball to keep the A's ahead 6-4. So now the A's 3 outs away from winning the game, winning the series. They'll try to add on here in the bottom of the 8th against the new pitcher, the closer for the White Sox, Alex Colomé. Meanwhile, the closer for the Athletics, Liam Hendriks, starting to get ready. Chad Pinder swings at the first pitch from Colomé. It's a foul ball. Colomé got the save in Game 1. Needed just 9 pitches. Looked very sharp. Had a really, really good year.
Yeah, I think Kenley Jansen in his prime. Really good cutter.
That one right off of Colomé. I think he got a good piece of him. It ricochets to Abreu, who gets the out, and now the White Sox have to check and make sure their pitcher's all right. That might have got him in the pitching arm, which is not good. Even if there's not a real injury, even just a contusion can tighten up the muscles. That could be bad news for Colomé. Right on the right forearm. I mean, for the White Sox, a fortunate ricochet. Abreu was able to get the out, but now the concern turns to Alex and to see if he can stay in the game.
It's a scary feeling too, because there's bones that are there, not just the contusion, just making sure everything feels right again.
Dylan Cease up in the bullpen just in case. Now he's going to stop. So I guess Colomé said, I'm all right. At least for now. Still just 16 pitchers used in this game, which is the most in history in a 9-inning postseason game. Not a shock that it would happen this year with the playoff rosters just like in the regular season, bigger than usual. Here's Mark Canha, 1 out, nobody on. A's with a 6-4 lead, bottom of the 8th inning. Canha has a hit plus a bases loaded walk. 95 miles an hour from Colomé, who looks to be okay.
Keep an eye on the velocity. I mean, he'll hit 98, 99 as well.
The 0-1. That one sprayed foul again. Strike 2. Looking ahead to the 9th inning as Hendricks warms up in the bullpen. The A's got through Abreu, got him to hit into the double play with a threat going in the 8th inning. So it'll be McCann, Moncada, and Luis Robert due for the White Sox. McCann, by the way, is now catching. The White Sox, even though they have Zach Collins on the roster, did not want to ask Collins to catch. So McCann is back there. Canha pops it up. Abreu makes the call. 2 down. So the White Sox, just in case this game were to get extended and have the lineup turn over again, the White Sox have given up their designated hitter. Liam Hendricks, he will be coming in this game. And it's going to be fascinating to see if he's got his normal stuff after what happened yesterday. Two down for Matt Olson. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts plus a bases loaded walk himself. Like a high slider cutter taken for a ball. That's a strike, 1-1. If the A's move on, they're going to need Matt Olson to get it going, particularly with no Chapman. And those two guys, in so many ways, the anchors of this team. The corner infield spots with all the power and the defense. 2-1.
Absolutely, where he's at within this lineup, and just knowing that it can't be the same 2 or 3 guys every game. You're going to need others to step up, and Olson's bat has been quiet.
Two 2-1 pitch. Call the ball. Colomé, an extra long stare in there. He thought that was a strike. Certainly could have been. Ball 4 to Olson. When was the last A's winner-take-all playoff game victory? Well, you got to go back a ways. 1973
yes.
World Series Game 7, Mets A's. Bert Campaneris with a home run. Reggie Jackson. Wearing the green and gold with a home run. And the A's won Game 7, 5-2. The final game for the great Willie Mays on the Mets side. Seems unusual to say. It was a long time ago. The A's since then have not won a winner-take-all playoff game. Trying to get rid of that here today. 3 outs away. Chris Davis, 1 for 4. Strike 1 swinging against the cutter.
It's a nasty cutter. That's Colomé's bread and butter. And you know it's coming.
That one on the ground to short. Anderson goes to second to force out Olsen, and here we go. Can the A's finish the deal? Can the White Sox rally again? McCann, Moncada, and Luis Roberts. 6-4 Oakland. Hendricks will be coming in when we come back. Let's take a look at our game track brought to you by Geico of this winner-take-all game as we go to the 9th inning. 9 different pitchers for the White Sox, 7 different pitchers in the first 8 for the A's, and I do believe they're going to go to their 8th. Liam Hendricks is coming in this game. It is 6-4 Oakland. The winner faces the Astros in the division series, and it is, in fact, Liam Hendricks. It's our 2020 Wild Card Series, the last one on the American League side, presented by Hankook Tire. Bob Melvin, 3 outs away from a playoff series win. That has been elusive. James McCann against Hendricks, and we'll see what he's got. First pitch swing, 98 miles an hour out of the bullpen for Hendricks. Strike 1.
I don't think he's phased. That was the biggest question mark. 49 pitches yesterday. He's going to get the ball today. But to see the look on Bob Melvin's face, Flem, when we talked to him pregame, I mean, there was no doubt in his mind that Liam could definitely get the ball and give him everything he possibly had.
McCann, Moncada, and Luis Robert for the White Sox. That one misses up and away. And we don't want to make too much of it because a player just throwing on flat ground before a game just to sort of test the arm, see how he's feeling. We don't want to read too much into that, but Hendricks wasn't 100%. It didn't look to us like he was 100% thrilled with the way the ball was coming out of his hand. 1-1 pitch, blew it by him. Strike 2, swinging. That one came out of his hand beautifully.
Four-seam fastball, it's everything you want it to do besides the 98 miles an hour. It's that elevation. It makes it look smooth, easy. It's got a ton of emotion.
One-two, fastball lined into center field. Here we go. You didn't think it was going to be stress-free, did you? For the A's. With all the recent playoff history, the White Sox are a team that does not go quietly.
What a bat for James McCann, too. This is 99 miles an hour on his hands, and he just kind of fists it into the center field. Finds a way to get on base with his team's season on the line.
So now Moncada. White Sox trying to build another rally. They have certainly had their opportunities. They've left 11 runners on base. They've gone 3 for 13 as a team with runners in scoring position in this game. Moncada waits. Up and away. Ball 1. Well, even with what happened yesterday, I have a feeling Moncada, who has hit a home run in his career against Hendricks. There's a slider for a strike. Just kind of ease that one in there. 1-1. I have a feeling it's sink or swim with Hendricks from the A's side. They've used Wendelken. They've used Trevino. They've used Diekman and Soria. 1-1. Moncada had a good swing, but fouled it off to the left, out of play. 1-2. Cardinals Padres starting over on ESPN2. When we're finished here, that game will also switch right here to ESPN. Game 2 on the National League side in the wild card round. Cardinals trying to sweep, Padres trying to force a game 3. A's were the only American League team that lost game 1 that was able to stay alive, and now trying to finish it off. Liam Hendricks, 1-2. He throws in the dirt with the slider.
This was the problem yesterday. Wasn't the fastball. The velocity was there. The location was there, but the slider, he just didn't have a good feel for it. Wasn't able to locate it. And you gotta, it's not even just him not being able to control it, but then knowing as a hitter, if you can eliminate his best pitch and sit fastball, it changes the whole game against Hendricks.
49 pitches yesterday. 2-2. Moncada just stays alive. There was a good slider. Moncada, a lot of power, especially as a left-handed hitter against right-handed pitching. 2-2. He strikes out swinging. Out number one.
There it is. There it is, that dirty slider.
So Luis Robert comes up, and maybe in an at-bat where he's going to be looking to duplicate what he did his first time up today, 487 feet. That made it 1-0 White Sox. It was 3-0 White Sox in the top of the third. But the A's have rallied, and they lead 6-4, 2 outs away from advancing. First pitch to Robert. Fastball challenge at 99 for strike one. Almost like a smile from Liam Hendriks. Robert had another big swing. Again, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-2. Power against power. With the game on the line, with the season on the line on both sides. White Sox maybe a little ahead of schedule. It's been a terrific year for them. A young team, an emerging team, a team that's going to be heard from in 2021 and beyond, but trying to keep their season going. 0-2. Robert strikes out swinging. Foul tip into the mid. And Liam Hendriks just overpowered the rookie. 2 down.
Even Robert had to look and see. 99 away. Blew it right by him. And he's had great at-bats throughout this entire game. Hendriks bringing the heat.
So now Nomar Mazara trying to keep the game and the season alive for the White Sox. 2 for 3 with a double to knock in a run, a single to drive in a run, plus a walk. So he's had a lot of good at bats today. Murphy dropped his mask. Well, the starters for games 1 and 2 for the White Sox hoping. Sean Murphy, the rookie catcher. Liam Hendriks, the veteran closer. A's are 1 out away. The pitch. Strike one. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He's certainly got the stuff after his taxing outing yesterday. The 0-1. Slider, strike 2. White Sox down to their final strike.
Doesn't look tired, looks focused. Both his pitches, I mean, his slider lacked command 2 batters ago. He's found it now. Throwing harder than he's thrown all season long.
Here's the 0-2. Mazara takes high. McCann takes second base. A's were not trying to prevent that. Focused on the hitter at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Mazara held up. He would not chase that slider.
So much trust too in Murphy behind the plate and be able to throw that pitch exactly where he needed to. With a hitter like Nomar Mazara up, you want that slider there and a 1-2 count in the dirt, knowing that Murphy's got your back.
2-2. Mazzara slashes it foul. Hanging in there against Hendricks. Tying run at the plate. 2 outs in the 9th inning and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Hendricks trying to dig deep. Here's his 2-2. Mazzara takes strike 3 called. And a win, a long time coming for the A's franchise that has had so much regular season success and so little in the postseason. Bob Melvin and his team earned this one. What a win today, and what a series win for the Oakland Athletics, and disappointment for the White Sox, who battled hard. But an A's team that had just had so many agonizing losses, they dug deep today, and Jess, they got a win that they had to have, and they are on to the division series to take on the Astros.
We knew it'd be an even series, and it came down even game 3. Both these teams fighting it out to the very end.
For our Jessica Mendoza and our whole crew, Dave Fleming saying so long from Oakland. Time to send you out to the Cardinals and the Padres.